Just waiting to see a few more people coming in. I just, yeah. Let's see if there's any more. Maybe one or two. Anyway, if it doesn't happen, I'm going to put this down in my podcast bit. Seems a bit easier to do than record. To record, use my phone, and to put it on here than to do anything like that. So, if anybody watches this, they'll watch it. I'm not really caring at the moment. So, for those who don't know me, my name is Paul. I run this YouTube channel called Discussion Salon. Hey, Hoss, how you doing? I hope you're well. I hope you're well there. So, like I said, my name is Paul. I run this channel. I am currently taking a history degree at the moment, and I suffer bad from mental illness. I have suffered of it for a long, long time. Yeah, I'm good. I'm good, Hoss. I'm really good there. Thank you. Yeah, so I suffered from this mental illness for a long, long time, and it has affected me. I have tried to end myself 3 times in my life. Twice I just fell asleep, and the third time when I did do something, it was the wrong medication. I have recently been not in a good place at the moment, as people would most think. I'm pretty good at hiding this. I have worked hard at hiding it. It gets you. But right now, I have fallen back down the hill, and it is very hard to get back up. Thank you, Hoss. And hey, Doc, I'm doing okay. I'm just going to do this and sort of thing. But I'm glad you're here, mate. Good seeing you. Yeah, so I've fallen down the slope, and I'm finding it very hard to get back up. I have been here before, but I'm getting tired of being here. If people suffer from any mental illness or any addiction or anything like that, it affects, and you go down and you don't want to get back up. You try your best, and you make bad choices, or not good choices, and but you got to stick by them. And right now, I'm in that place where I don't want to get up anymore. I'm tired. I'm tired of doing this. I'm tired of I'm just tired. I'm tired of everything at the moment. I'm tired of life. It's getting harder and harder. And there is days when I really don't want to be here. Like I said, I'm good at acting. I just I don't know. I don't know how to finish that sentence. We couldn't finish that sentence. I just don't want to be at this place anymore. I don't want to be at this bottom, this hill. I don't want to climb back up. I don't want to have to keep on climbing back up. It gets harder and harder and harder every time you fall. It gets harder to bring yourself back up. It is just difficult. And the more times you try and the more times you fail, you just don't want to do it no more. Then the reason why I'm doing this live, I'm not putting this StreamYard out. I know people like think, and thank you for everybody who's on here and got to comment. I want to show people the real the real voice, the real face, no, the real voice of depression, and how it affects you, and how you struggle from day to day. And people just say, just cheer up. It is not the point of just cheering up. There's a point you just can't do things anymore. Maybe I feel better tomorrow, but right now I feel I need to do this. I don't care if one person watches this. I don't care about subs. I don't care about views. I don't care any of this about this feed. That doesn't mean I don't care about the people here, because I do. I just, for the outcome of this feed, I just, whether it gets me views and it gets me out, I don't care. I don't care. We all try, and we all. There's a lot of people who like to bring it down on here. There is a lot of people. Maybe I've been bringing people down myself. Thank you, Hoss. Maybe I've been people down myself, but I try to be a good person in life. I've done. I've tried to. I was a really immature young boy, and I had to grow up quick, and I matured with age, like a fine wine or a stinky cheese. I prefer fine wine. I don't like stinky cheese, but mature, and but it gets just. It just gets harder. It really does. I stay in this room, and because where I live, it is pretty expensive. You need, when I'm not joking, you need at least £500,000 to £1 million to buy a house or to have a job. The property here is so. So I stay in this room because I suffer from anxiety too. Sometimes it's hard for me to go outside. So when I plan my location lives, I plan them. They get planned out 2 or 3 weeks in advance in my mind to get me out. So when I do go out, it's a good thing for me because I can get out and enjoy a bit of the sun, or can join the different things. But right now, I'm just tired. It's easy to just to write this down, but it's also I want to show people how it affects everybody. Yeah, exactly. It's the I can't understand, but I can relate to you, JP. I can relate because everybody feels different. I can relate into what you say. For me, it takes me at least 2 or 3 weeks just to go out, or it takes me a couple of days just to go to a shop or something. Um, right now, I've just had a I've had more of a terrible month than other months. I've had to go up to Scotland for a funeral. I've had to deal with personal stuff, which I'm not going to repeat, and my own personal life. Uh, and it's just getting harder every day. Every day it just gets harder. I don't know what to do now. Really, I don't know what to do. If I could, thank you, mate. Get, I'm trying to find things to say, and when I thought of doing this, I had like a massive speech planned out in my mind, done, and you was going to say, and you was going to do this, and you was going to do that, and it'd be perfect if I could go and say that, and be profound, and it'd be as soon as the camera, as soon as I switch this off or go into the live, it just disappears. Hey Bart, hey Bart. Yeah, it just disappears, and I can't think of the words to say. It's that. Oh, well, if that was true. If that was true, Hoss. If that was true, just breathe. It is brilliant advice, and I say the same things, and it's just today. It's impossible. Today is maybe it'd be better tomorrow, where I can do it, but not today. It's getting near. Sorry, I'm going to take a drink. It's getting near the changing of the seasons. I find I have suffered from SAD too, which makes this a lot worse than it is. I mean, when I was sorry, I was taking a drink. When I was at my worst, when I was at my worst, when I sort of took a mini breakdown, and I had to see psychiatrists, I I started seeing things in the street. I've said this before, but I started to see snipers on roofs and demons in drains. And I was so scared to go out. I literally was. It didn't take me a couple of weeks. It took me months to get out. My mate used to come round and you say, "We'll go for a drive." I said, "No, I'm not going for a drive." Yeah, I told you, you don't listen. I feel like a lot of people don't listen to me in my personal life. And he said, "You don't listen. I can't do these things. I can't do these things anymore. I'm not like 20 years of age where I used to go out and at a whim, I'll take one job. The next thing you know, a couple of months later, I'm halfway up the country, living and working in Scotland. I have, is there a gym I can go to? No, but I have got a pair of boxing gloves. I have got some weights. I've got a kettlebell. Maybe I'll bash those a bit later. Go and punch a wall with the gloves, and just take the frustration out on the wall. But yeah, so and like I said, it was. I said to them, "Isn't like I'm younger? I can go out at the drop of the hat, or I can move up and down the country, and just get a job." It's it just gets harder and harder. Yeah, it really does. I mean, especially especially in Britain, because in Britain we're known as cold, gloomy, and wet, and that is the truth in the autumn and the summer. In the autumn, in the winter, we do get that, and the nights are drawn in quickly, which affects people. Affects me a lot more. I just feel like sleeping all the time. You could have like a good 7 hours sleep. The next day, then suddenly you just want to go back to sleep again. You can sleep another 7 hours. You're just hibernating away from the rest of the world. I I don't know what to say. It's yeah, yeah. Maybe it could be a bit of that too. But right now, I'm just stuck. I feel like I'm floundering. Uh, I I don't know what to do no more. I really don't. Uh, I have been up in front of counsellors, psychiatrists, and the way they deal with mental health in Britain is not brilliant. It is not brilliant at all. It is pretty poor way they treat. Yeah, yeah, I know. JP, I had to. I As a family, we had when I was 31, 32, we had to turn off we had to turn off the life support from my mother. I So we had to sit and watch somebody that I loved for 5 hours, just lay there, and you couldn't do nothing. And when the machine just went off, I had to take my aunt because my aunt was really upset. And I had to take her out the actual ward that my mum was in, and I never got to see the chance of her dying. Um, then the shit really hit the fan. They really did. There was massive family arguments, and there's always, when somebody dies, somebody important in your family dies. There's either goes one or two ways. You all pull together, or all falls apart. Well, it all fell apart for me, and I ended up cleaning. I ended up taking a job cleaning police cells. Yeah. Um, so I ended up cleaning police cells because I used to do anything for work. If I couldn't find work in my trade, I would go off and do Joe jobs. I'd go off and do like cleaning or anything, any agency work. I'd go and do just to earn a bit of money. Any work where you earn money is good work. Doesn't matter if you're cleaning the sewers. It doesn't matter if you're cleaning carpets. It doesn't matter if you're just scrubbing the streets. It is work. But I I'm so sorry, man. I'm so sorry about that. That's the same that happened to my friend too. He had to see the same too. And my best friend in the world had to watch his mum pass away with cancer. But at least they had times to say goodbye to her. I couldn't say goodbye to my mum because as soon as she went into a hospital, she got put into a medical coma. She had a blood clot in her bowel, and they pulled out two, and her bowel died inside her. And yeah, and they pulled out this 2 or 3 gangrene bowel, put her in a medical coma, and she never never came out of that coma. JP, I'm actually a chef. I was actually a chef for 17 plus years. I worked as I worked as a kitchen porter, and I done it all in trade. I never went to college. I've worked in military camps. I've worked in hotels. We've worked in pubs. I have scrubbed pots and pans, and I've washed dishes, and I've worked behind a bar, and I've also helped to run a pub, and I've also worked as a storeman. Oh, thank you very much, but I know, but it's I really appreciate that. Is YouTube can be a fickle thing, and for people to say no, it can't be. Yeah, it can. Yeah, it's like I say, YouTube can be with fickle thing, and I'll always try to be a good person. I'll always try to be on here to say how I feel, to say as long as I'm respectful about it. And my yeah, so I'm trying not to. I know I like a lot of people and I talk to a lot of people, and that is brilliant. But when it's your personal life, and I don't bring personal life into this, it gets a lot harder. It really does. Lord Doc, my first wage was £1.90 to £2.10 an hour, and that was working in an army kitchen in Aldershot, Military Town. And the regiment I worked for was the parachute regiment, and it was their depot and where they trained. The only good thing about that is you did get free food. You got, if you're working your breakfast shift, you get breakfast and lunch, and if you're working an evening shift, you get lunch and dinner. So yeah, we had some bonuses, but the money was pretty poor. But when that was when I was 16. So when I was 16, I was rich for me. You used to go out and buy yourself a pair of Levi's jeans for £35, and now how much do they cost? They cost about 90 to £100 now. I've lost my thought. Yeah, YouTube can be fickle. It can be. I knew that when I done my channel. But I like everybody I chat to. I like everybody who comes on here. And I like people who go in their lives, like Lord Docs. Um, I like going there, having a chat with him. I like going on Gen X Jeff. I know some people it's a bit divisive. Hey Mikey, how's it going? But I do like going on his channel and having a chat there. The other channels I used to frequent, I know I like going on Cheeseheads. I like going in his, and of course my boy, one of the guys I consider a friend on YouTube and a friend in the internet universe is Brian from Drinks and Discussions. He's a top geezer, and we've always got time for a chat and always have time for a laugh together. But other channels I used to frequent, I don't do anymore for their actions. I won't go back. It's people I'd rather not see, which is true, and they'd probably rather not see me. Thank you very much. Okay, Hosel, thank you for being here. And I will do. Thank you very much, sir, and I hope you're well and look after yourself. Thank you. Thank you very much, Doc. That means a lot to me too. It really does. I've always tried to be the person that I am, even in life. If you came up to me in life, we'd have a drink together and we'd just chew the shit. We'd just have a good laugh. If you ever see me in a pub, mind you, that's a bit deadly, really. We'll have a coffee instead. But I treat YouTube as a pub, and the people I chat to, and the people I go and see is the people I'd actually go and hang around with real life and have a drink with them. That's the way I see it. But other than that, it is just life is difficult. I would gladly take it as long as I don't have to do any back arching or pegging. I just couldn't do that, mate. I'm sorry, mate. Sorry. Dude, if I had a drink with you, we wouldn't be drinking cheap liquor. We'd be drinking good whiskey. I do not drink crap whiskey. I hate crap whiskey. And we don't need to do the paper bag thing over here. You don't need to put if you buy a bottle of whiskey, you can drink a bottle of whiskey. Like I said, life is hard, and it's harder when you feel alone. It's also harder when you feel alone when you're not alone, if that makes sense. Well, over here it is. You can buy a cheap bottle of hard cider for like £5 or £6, and that'd be like 9%. But like I said, it's also harder when you know you've got people there, but you feel alone. That doesn't make any sense. That is be an oxymoron, but it is the truth. I had a conversation with somebody, and we're talking. They said we're talking about love, and they said it's easier to love someone else than it is to love yourself. And she goes, "That doesn't make any sense." I said, "I know, but it is the truth. We love more people than we do ourselves. We don't. Take things for granted. When you're younger, you think nothing's going to harm you. You can drink as much as you want. You can smoke as much as you want. You can eat as much as you want. You can lose friends, but always pick some friends up. And when you get older, we realise what we've lost, and that affects you too. Still to this day, I still miss some friends that I made from 29 years ago. I still miss my mother. She was the only person there for me too. My dad, I've seen my dad at my Auntie Betty's funeral, and he didn't even talk to us then. I can remember coming downstairs and hearing my mum and dad arguing, and I was only a skinny lad. I really was skinny, and I must have been about 15, 16 at the time. Then I seen my dad raise his hands to my mum, and he was hitting, slapping my mum. And I pushed my mother out the way because I didn't want him slapping her. And then he pinned me up against the wall and started slapping me and punching me. My dad used to pick on me every time because when I came back down from Glasgow, I'd live with my parents. And my dad we'd just argue all the time. Then one time, something happened, and he threw me out. He threw me out the living room. I tried to walk into the living room again, and he slammed the door right in my face. So I punched the door. He came up to me and started pushing me, and I said to him, "Please don't push me anymore. You're my father. You're my dad. Don't push me." And he said, "Just keep on pushing me." I said, "I've warned you. Please don't push me anymore. I don't want to do nothing. You're my dad." And he gave me the biggest push. I took a step back and steadied myself. Then I seen red. All I could see was red. I picked him up picked him up, and I threw him at least 2 or 3 foot, and I'd said to him, "Don't fucking ever push me again." My brother was at the top of the stairs, and he started, "What are you doing to my dad? I'll come down there and hit you too, and I will hit you." And he was just about to rush downstairs, and I looked at both him and my dad. I said, "Right, I've had enough of you two. I'm going to go out in the garden. We're going to have it out in the garden. I don't care if you kick the hell out of me, but you'll know not to do it again." And my ex-brother-in-law, turned up and he was there and he came in and said, no, one on one's fair, not two on one. I said, I don't care. I've had enough. I've had enough of being bullied. I've had enough of being talked to. And then since that day, my dad never tried to put his hand on me ever again. He didn't even hardly say a word to me ever again after that. My brother, well, my brother's an ex-soldier. He was a soldier for 7 or 8 years in the British Army. He was served in the Royal Artillery. But my brother's there was a type of soldier. Once leaving the army, still thinks the world dresses up in green and brown. And I was working in the army camps, and somebody was taking my brother's food because we're both living at my mum's, and he had this food which was all marked, and somebody was taking his food. And my brother-in-law was there too. It was a busy house, really was. Said, Paul, your brother's left. Your brother's left a note upstairs for you. And I went, a note? And he goes, yeah. He said, well, he said, don't read it, Paul. Just chuck it away. I said, fine. And my ex-brother-in-law is known as a bit. He liked telling a tale. If you won £10 to him, he'll tell you he won £10,000. So I thought he's just telling tales. I just thought no, and it wasn't until a couple of years later I was pulling stuff out of my room as you do, and I was looking at, and I found this piece of paper that was folded up, and I looked at it, and it was what my brother wrote, and I looked and went, oh. So I sat down and I went, wow, and I kept it in my pocket, so to say. It actually kept the note in my pocket. I kept it in mind. And when I stayed with my brother, I stayed with them till I moved, because I used to move around. It's very much so. And it was chaotic. Yeah, it is. So when I say my brother, I was doing him a favour. So he was picking me up for work because I was giving him a shed load of money. And I said to him, do you want to come down to the pub one day? He goes, no, I'm driving. I said, I haven't got no money. He said, well, I've got money. Sat down in the pub, chose a nice quiet corner. While he was enjoying his pint, I said to him, I found that note. And he goes, I didn't write your note. And he goes, well, you did. You did there. And he goes, I didn't. And went, yeah. So he said, yeah, I did write that. And I said, okay then. I'm not gonna sick and tired of you doing this shit. So don't ever write anything like that to me again. So we're gonna sort it out properly. And he goes, but I don't want to do that. I said, well, when you write notes like the way you did, I won't say it was in the note, the way you did, me and you are going to have a proper sorting out, and we can think. And you went, right. He goes, I didn't mean you to write that note. I said, well, you did mean it because you wrote it. I believe whatever you say, you mean. It doesn't matter if you say good or bad, you mean it because you thought it, so you say it. And he went, oh, yeah. And I went, it's not going to happen again. I don't want to be part of this thing again. And when my mum passed away, it started up again. I don't talk to him now. I haven't talked to him since the age of haven't talked to him for almost 17 years. I refuse to. I don't like bullies. I don't like people who pick on people. It's but again, try and find the words again. Life has been hard. Has been better. I have had better than some, but harder than others. It's like when I've found out I need a major, like I really do need a major heart operation, and I am shitting myself, and I am so scared about this because my operation, I need to be on a life support machine. I need to have my body opened up, my chest cracked open. I need to have my artery replaced and replaced either with a bovine or plastic artery. Then I've got to see if I've got to wake up from this. The thing is, what makes it a lot worse, I don't know when I need the operation. The hospital doesn't know when I need the operation, but they know I need it. They want to see if the problem stabilizes because it's growing. The operation is an atoric aneurysm. My veins are not closing. My veins are widening. What's the most scariest thing about this is if they burst, I have got 2 or 3 minutes to go to the hospital. I live 20 minutes away from the hospital. What recovery time will look like? A couple of months, Mikey, a couple of months. There's only 8,000 people a year have this operation in Britain out of 68 million. So this is one of the things that I'm as a positive. Absolutely, and I don't care if YouTube, if when I do get monetization, if you don't care YouTube about this, I'm absolutely bricking myself, which is an English way of saying I'm shitting myself. I am proper shitting myself about this because I'm not going to have it in where I live. I'm going to have this in London. I've got to travel to London for this operation. I've got to go to a hospital called St Thomas's. Is it St Thomas's? Maybe, I think it is. Yes, it's one of the big London hospitals I've got to go to. Um, Again, any visitors? I don't think I will if I have this. I've got no children. Um, and the rest of my family, and my aunts and my cousins and my uncles, they all stay in Glasgow, and I wouldn't expect them to come down. And and I've got nephews and nieces, but they're all spread throughout the country, and some of them don't even know me too. Oh, that's good to hear. That's good to hear. Well, yeah, that's true, Lord Doc. They've got one of the best children hospitals in the world, and that is Great Ormond Street. Um, and a little known fact is Great Ormond Street owns the rights to Peter Pan. So when Disney make Peter Pan stuff, they've got to give money to Great Ormond Street because Great Ormond Street owns Peter Pan. But it's the thought of this operation too that's making me scared. Also, I've got personal problems which I'm trying to deal with at the moment as well, which is not happening. Hey, Mr. B. Um, and it's just all come tumbling down again. It's just difficult. It really is difficult. I wish depression could be just switched off of a light switch. That'd be so much easier. Or just any type of switch, you could just switch it off and it's gone forever. But it's not. Thank you, mate. Thank you. Um, I feel like the process of breaking down is. This is my computer doing this. I'm so sorry. I just don't know which way to turn at the moment. I know people say you can reach out to people, but oh no, no, I haven't missed a beat. No, I've definitely. This is my first one. This would be my first one. Um, Look, I mean, a lot what people do not know about me is I'm an amateur genealogist. I can do family trees. Maybe not brilliant. Um, yeah, they know the situation. I mean, I go up to the. I've got to have like a yearly scan just to check. I sometimes have been within the year. Within the year, I do go to A&E because I get pains in my chest, and they're just pains. But they've got to double check. They've got to bring me into A&E because of my condition. Last time I was in A&E was in Christmas Eve, but I had to go back. I had to go back because I'm caring for someone, and I wanted to make sure they had a good Christmas. So I took myself out to A&E and to make sure that they were cared for. Some people go, maybe that was stupid. Uh, I'm a man of my word. I'll try to stick to my word as much as possible. So I couldn't, and I wanted to make sure this person had had the Christmas dinner and had some stuff. So I tend to put a lot of more people first than I do myself. Maybe I should stop that, but I can't help that because that's who I am. If I hear somebody's ill, I will go and I'll try to help them. And that's what really pissed me off about Mike Sarone. When he came on that panel that a couple of weeks ago and he said, I'm dying. And I said to him, what are you dying of? And he goes, I've got a irregular heartbeat. Then the next day he goes, no, I'm not dying. I just had a major heart attack. I thought, what? Well, I can't say what I thought. There are people out there who have lost families through heart conditions, whether it be genetic or self-made. There's still a lot of people who have lost people of the heart. And I thought, what an evil thing to say. What an evil thing to say and to put people through, because would feel sorry for him. Genuinely, it's not brilliant living with a heart condition, and anybody's living with that type of condition, my heart goes out to them. But when you sit there and you lie, that's when you've got to say stop. Then he's got a cheek to say, I'm a Christian. I'm a Christian. Well, what the fuck would Jesus say to him? What would Jesus say to him? Is that what Jesus would do? The belief in the teachings of Jesus Christ, and all that man done was teach love and understanding. He does not say anything else. He laughs about people. He goes, this is a circular troll. This is trolling. I am an actor. I do this. I do that. Maybe you should get the fucking dildo out of his ass then. And that's all I'm going to say on Mike Sarone. disgust. It's like going into. It's like going into. Oh, he's already done that. It's like going into a thing and saying, "I'm a cop. I was a cop and a therapist when he wasn't." It's like going into a place and saying, "I've got cancer now I'm free," when you haven't got it. What the hell? What the actual hell? Yeah, I know. Mike, I agree. Mister B, I know. I can't change that. But just to go on to somebody, just go on to a thing and say what you said, you just don't do. You don't do. For the sake of YouTube trolling, that is taking it too far. I've had people call me names on here. I've had people say I'm boring. I've had people saying your channel's nothing. Well, don't don't watch it then. Simple, real thing. Yeah, maybe I'm just ranting too. I need to get some frustrations out. Maybe I just needed to say it, get it off my chest. Maybe it'll be a sunny day tomorrow. I'll feel a lot better. It's one of those things. We each, I don't know, we each suffer differently, but we can have relate to things. Hey, I really enjoy Playboys, cigars, and beer, or beer and whiskey. How's that, Mister B? Hey, how you all think serious? How you all doing? Look, I'm not going to stay on for long, but I'm going to drop the link now. If anybody wants to come up and chat, you're very welcome. It's there. I'm just being very mindful on how what I say. There is people out there who have got it a lot worse than me. But when you suffer from any type of mental illness or any type of struggle, you don't feel it. You know it's true, but you don't feel it. You feel like the only person out there. Maybe a bit selfish, but it's the truth. So the StreamYard's out there. I put it up. If anybody wants to come up, you're welcome. Yeah, like always a things. There's always a plan or a path. There always is. But how do you live with yourself knowing that you've lied about matters of the health, or you know you've lied about matters of to grieving women? These women are grieving because they couldn't find their children. Usually when I vent, I usually go and punch a wall. I slip my boxing gloves on and punch a wall several times. I I've done a little bit of K1 kickboxing, and I've done a little bit of boxing. Oh God, I could have handled it better. So I'm going to go handle it a lot better now. Mike Cerrone says he's from Sicily. Sicily didn't become part of Italy till 1861. The American Revolutionary War. Um, Hold on, let me get my dates right. Oh yeah, okay. So American Revolutionary Wars from 1775 to 1783. Mike Cerrone's family didn't come to the Americas because he said his family, his granddad was Italian. So that means if his granddad is Italian, he would have came in during the Great Depression, just after the Great Depression, or maybe just in part of the end of the. Well, there's been several industrial revolutions. Well, the part of the industrial revolutions there to move to live in America. So when Mike goes, "We beat you in the US War of Independence," no, you beat us by association. Your family did not take part in that war. There's only a very small amount of American people who can actually say, because of migration um, from the, from the industrial revolutions up to the Irish famine and mass unemployment, where people moved or just maybe looking for opportunity. But no, he knows nothing about. He said the French Armada. Sorry, Mike, but Mel Gibson movies about history have been noted for so many mistakes. It's unbelievable. So when you're using the Patriot as a reference, please make sure you get the movie right. Uh, he said, and it was the American War of the American War of Independence. There was 13 colonies that fought Britain. It was a British Civil War. That's what it's about. It wasn't about tyrants. It wasn't about people being patriotic towards America. It was about getting free. It was about the colonists getting freedom to create the United States of America. That's how you get the United States of America. That's how you get the circle flags. Your flags tell the story of how many states joined from each era. The last state joining was was it Hawaii was the last state to join the US. I believe it was, and they confused it with tea, and they took their frustrations out on the tea. Yeah, so it wasn't tea, it was basil. Um, the Pearl Harbor, the Pearl Harbor tasted like for salty tea for a couple of days after that. British would have loved it. Um, I just can't think of anything else. I really do hate these lives. I prefer going out to locations and doing these locations or doing my videos. Um, I like doing those because then I've got to think I can chat along to. I can do a script. What I do is I get all the information that I need, and I put it onto ChatGPT, and I tell ChatGPT what I want said or what the title of the script, and I want the conclusion of. And I've got one I'm working on now, which I'm going to need a conclusion, and I'm going to do a discussion about it, and I'm going to ask somebody to come on and join the discussion. I can't say who it is because I haven't said if they can do it, but we're going to take it from there. Um, I'm going to knock it on the head. I'd just like to thank everybody for the concern, everybody for their praise. On-site historical shorts. Trouble is, Mikey, is getting there. Public transport, because I can go to these things, but I do this off my own back, and it's all my own money. So when I do these, I usually go out to the track to get the bus or the train. It's easier to get the train to these types of places than get the bus to wherever you need to do. So I can do these, except I don't drive, so that's a little bit harder for me to do. But I will keep that in mind. Definitely one of the plans I'm going to do there. I think it is. I think it is, Mr. B. I really do. I think he's an alcoholic. He's a closet alcoholic. Now, it doesn't mean he's in the closet as being like gay, and I don't really give two monkeys about that. But what I mean by as a closet alcoholic, he has not admitted it to himself. We definitely hear a spirit bottle being opened, spirit bottle cap twisting, and the sound of water onto glass. And when he says, no, that is just this plastic water. No, it is definitely not. No, I have worked. Oh, that one, JP, that was by mistake. What happened was that one. I was supposed to go to the chemist to pick up some medication. When I got to the chemist, I heard somebody saying, oh, they found a bomb. So I walked down there. Then next thing you know, I get trapped behind this barricade. It turns out it may not have been a bomb at the end, but nobody said quite why he may say these things not to put thing on. He's getting just Dastani. I'm going to be quiet for a minute, but I will be back. Just 2 minutes, please. Sorry about that. I had to go, as we say, go and wash my hands. Yeah, but if Mike Sarone does have a problem with alcohol, I believe alcoholism is an illness, and I feel sorry for the guy if he's got it, because it may be self-induced, but it's still an illness altogether. It's an illness of the mind more than an illness of the body, and he should get proper help for it. But saying that, him being nasty to people, which he's done for a long time, he pretends he's just thing. It's been going on since he's been on Vegas Valley. We know this. We have seen this. It needs to stop. He's a grown-ass man.
and he should take some accountability for himself. You have to admit your mistakes, and you have to learn from them. I have learned that the hard way. I have learned from mine, and by gum, I'll stick to my words. But he doesn't. He'll constantly bash people. He'll constantly lie, and he'll make out to be another person's fault. We know this. We have seen it. And some people have actually talked to him about this, and he's very nonchalant. He'll try to use big words to make himself look clever. Yeah, yep, Mikey, I get that. I do get that. He should, if he wasn't doing this behind people's back, we should all be behind him, trying to get him help, if that is the case. But it's not the case. He has made a rod for his own back on so many channels now. So many, it is unbelievable. I've always said this channel is not going to be used to attack people. I'm not going to have trolls. But when somebody comes at you, you defend yourself. And he's came at me several times. So now I'm defending myself. I'm not going to make this channel into the Mike's Alone channel. Hey, so guys, we've got Doc on here. Hey, Doc.
What's happening, man? How you doing?
Yeah, it's just a bad day today, mate. Bad day.
I get it.
Bad day, and I just need to say a few things and let a few things out. And of course, some emotions do run high sometimes, don't they?
Absolutely.
Mm.
What do you think it is? Is it just the season, or you just get this all the time?
I've been. Do you know what? I have suffered from this since my age of 20, and I'm now 49.
Oh shit.
Yeah. Like I've said before, I've tried to end myself 3 times.
Jesus, Paul, you don't want to be doing that.
No, lucky I fell asleep twice while drunk, and lucky enough, I know more about cooking steak than I do about medication, because one day, it's going to sound really corny, I keep on saying this, but I lived where I worked, so it was a living job, and my room was a big double room, and I had one bed at one side of the window, and my bed was against the wall. And I had the room to myself. And just one day, I just couldn't take it anymore, and I had some medication. And I went to the shop, brought myself a bottle of cheap whiskey, and I popped these pills, and I ended up going to the other side of the bed next to the window, and I just stayed awake and watched the moonlight hit the window. And I wanted to get to sleep, but before I tried to get to sleep, I remember seeing a silver hand hovering above my hand. It was just a hand from the light shining through the window, and I just fell asleep, and I woke up the next day all perfectly fine.
Jeez.
Yeah, I just took a load of antibiotics, and it cleared my chest infection up good. But if there were anything else, I wouldn't have been here right now.
Yeah, you don't want to be doing that. I'll tell you a quick story. Like fucking back in like my 20s, right? I got thrown in jail, and there was this case going on. And these investigators wanted information, but I wouldn't tell them nothing. So they took me and they threw me in what's called segregation or solitary.
Mm-hmm.
They took all my shit out of there when they threw me in there. I was fucking convinced this is it. This is they're gonna keep me in here forever. Of course, I was like 20 something years old, so I rigged up this noose to like hang myself. And I fucking out of my sneakers and my shoelaces, right?
Yeah.
I thought that was it. When you're 20, you think 10 years is it, like that's your whole life. So I fucking wrapped this around my neck, and I jumped off. They have a little desk, a little writing desk that's
Yeah.
into the wall. And it had this light that came off the top, and it had this little tiny gap, and I was able to fit the shoelace, like use one shoe as an anchor, and I pushed it all the way back so it would hold. So I wrapped this thing around my neck, and I jumped off the fucking the desk there. Fucking the first time it snapped, so I tied the shoelace back together, and I fucking so now it's shorter. It's short was. So I wrap it back around my neck, and I jump off the fucking desk. This time, the thing stretched all the way to the floor, so I had to undo it and try to do it again. Plus, I'm gonna look out the door window all the time, make sure no guards are coming, because if they find you doing shit like that, you're fucked. They're gonna throw you in. They're gonna strip you naked. They're gonna keep you in like that kind of situation. The third time, wrapped it around, got it all set, jump off the desk, and it started fucking working. Like I was going out. I never scrambled so much in my fucking life to get that thing off from around my neck. I've never tried it again. Like, it was actually working. Like, I started blacking out.
No.
I wouldn't have broke that fucking shoelace. I would have died on there. I don't tell people that story, but I know what it's like to feel like hopeless, like nothing. I thought I was locked in this little box for the rest of my life. Because when they stuck me in there, it was under investigation, which means there's no time limit. They can just leave you in there until they feel like letting you out. And they're only doing it to break my balls.
Yeah.
It was a scary thing. Like, it started working almost instantly. And in that like split second, I realized I really didn't want to die. So I started fucking tearing the shit off. So basically, the point of it is, it's a permanent solution to a temporary problem, because things will get better, even though it might not seem like it. I mean, look where I am today,
It's true, mate. You're doing well for yourself, mate.
Well, kind of, I mean, everybody's struggling, dude. It's just this economy, this world. Unless you're making like $1 million plus a year, everybody's in the same fucking boat.
You've got your family, haven't you? You've got a little family around you now.
Yeah, I mean, I got Christine, I got the kids,
That's success, mate, to me. You could be as poor as, but if you've got somebody that you love and loves you back, and you've got people who love you, that is success to me.
Yeah, it's definitely got its moments, It's definitely not the cure-all, but it definitely does help a little bit. I mean, a lot of times, too, when I come in, I usually don't talk about work or a lot of other things, I just deal with whatever problems we got going on. Like, I'm not going to lie to you, this school season has been one of the most difficult, like getting ready for it,
Yeah.
It used to be, remember in our day, our mother or whatever would take us to the shop, get us an outfit or two, and you're all set.
No, see, it was different in Britain because we had school uniforms.
Oh yeah, so that is different. Yeah.
Yeah, we had to wear school uniforms, and we had to wear the school tie too. I can remember going to school one day, and the teacher goes, "Where's your tie, Paul?" And I said, "I was lost in a time warp."
You must have liked that one.
Yeah, no, they didn't like that one. And another time we used to bring your books to school, and I didn't take mine take mine. Teacher goes, "Have you got your books, Paul?" And I went, No, I haven't got my books with me. And he goes, "So what are they doing at home?" I said to him, "I think they're gathering dust." They didn't like that response neither. but I would get you. When you put you school, you still need to buy the stuff. Is buy stuff like books and stuff like that, and you buy like clothes. We had different uniforms we had to wear. You
Well,
know?
now everything's online now. Even the
Yeah.
shopping. We used to have really good, like we got a couple of good shops, but the kids are really picky on what they're gonna fucking wear. So now we have to go all online, make sure the shit gets here on time. I'm worried that some things aren't gonna fit them and all this other shit, but we'll see how it goes. We'll see how
I
it goes.
I think our generation started that type of shit because our generation lived with Nikes and Adidas and Reebok, didn't we?
Oh yeah, you had to have it.
Yeah, you had to have it. Yeah, and the shell suits too. Did you have shell suits in the US?
I'm not sure what's that.
It's like a tracksuit top and like a
Oh
tracksuit bottom.
yeah, well yeah, they have the track suits are pretty big here still.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
like what you see like a Vanilla Ice used to type wear. That's like a shell suit.
Jeez, now you're going back. Now you're
Yeah,
going back. I remember when that shit first came out back in '89.
I can remember being at school and somebody's playing "Fuck the Police" by NWA.
Yeah, yeah. Fuck the police. Yeah, and the
Yeah.
cops hated that fucking song. See, back then it was a lot different. The cops could beat the shit out of you back then.
Mm.
Today it's a lot different. Everybody's got cameras and shit like that. But back then, dude, if you mouthed off to a cop, man, oh boy, dude, they would fucking kill you.
You'd have to be good,
Oh,
good with your hands and quick with your feet. Yeah.
dude, I'm telling you, man. Like I watched some of these auditing. I watched some of these auditing videos, and the guys are just screaming at the cops, "Fuck you, you fucking pig!" I'm like, oh my god, if they would have pulled that shit when I was a kid, ooh, those cops fucking destroyed these people.
I can remember living in Glasgow, and they used to watch the gang fights, and there used to be this big black police officer. He really was big black, and they gave him a nickname, Spook.
Oh man,
And you always see,
racist as fuck.
yeah, I know. But that was his nickname in the gangs. It was Spook. They
Oh
see this
my
black
God.
officer, they go, "Oh, shit, let's do a run. A Spook is here."
Oh my god, I couldn't imagine. Holy shit.
I've been, even I've got almost arrested by the cops. And what the police used to do, if they bring you into the police car, they put the hat in the back seat, and they deliberately make you sit on that seat where the hat is. And you go to sit down. He goes, "You better not fucking sit in my hat, as I'll break your legs for you."
Oh yeah, they were motherfuckers back. Even over here, they were bad. They were bad, man.
Yeah.
I mean, you had your good ones and shit. Don't get me wrong, but dude, if you gave any ounce of disrespect to a cop back then, nowadays, man, they know they're being filmed, so they can't really fuck around. I mean, I'm not totally against law enforcement anyway.
No.
I believe that I think
It's an
some of these
important
people,
part of society. It really is.
yeah, I mean, well, I mean, look what happens when you don't have them, just the
Yeah.
lawlessness, crime, it's crazy. Especially over here. I don't know if you monitor what goes on, but the last few years, like, we have Kamala Harris is running for president.
Yeah.
Sure you know that,
Yep.
and that Tim Walsh, but dude, these people have gone fucking berserk over the last few years. Like even where was it? I think it was like in Washington or something in Seattle. They made a whole area in Seattle. Like I forget how many city blocks. That was like its own, for all intents and purposes, like its own little country. And they wouldn't allow the cops or nothing to go in there. The gangs were actually running this place. And there was murders happening. I think they shut it down after like a murder or two. I'm not exactly sure. Everybody heard of this.
Yeah.
But dude, there was murders, there was rapes, there was drugs flying all through there. It was fucking utter insanity, and they let it go on for like I think it was like a good month, like 6 weeks, a month before they shut it down.
Jesus. Well,
Yeah.
when I lived in Glasgow, they used to have the gang fights. I've never seen gang fights before because I came from a quiet Surrey village, and there was gang fights, and I've seen them, and I used to hang around with the people who were associated with these gangs. I wasn't involved in any of the fighting. And one of the fighting happened was 5 of the people that I knew went and kicked this young guy to death. They done some. They booted him to death there, and
It's a bad way to go.
it will. Yeah, I mean, they brung him. What happened was he died like 6 times in the ambulance, but he survived.
Huh.
But he still suffers problems for it now.
Oh, I'm sure.
But what happened was his uncle was. I'm not going to say any names. I'm not going to think. His uncle was the area hard man. He wasn't a nice person to mess around with. He got these boys and he gave them a good kicking, each one of them. And the guy he wanted most ran away to Manchester. The guy came back 3 years later, got himself a job. I don't know who done it, but he was found with his throat. Somebody he's still alive, but they found him found his throat, and found him lying down in the pool of his own blood, and his throat was slit from ear to ear.
No shit.
Yeah,
I know a couple people that survived that, but it's bad, and they got big, thick, nasty scars across
Yeah.
their neck.
that's too. Yeah, apparently. I remember one time. This is pretty funny. So how the gang fight started? They get a 8-year-old, get gangs of 8-year-olds, and they'd throw stones at each other. Then the 13-year-olds will look and go, "All right, we want some of this." So they started throwing stones back, and they each go. It escalated till you get the like teenagers and adults.
Jesus.
And I remember coming back from the pub. I was pretty drunk, and the roads were petitioned off by a railing, and I was walking where the railing was, just drunk as Larry, didn't care. And suddenly I'm looking, pointing at the sky, pointing with my finger, going, shouting these objects, and I'm going, we at these objects. And I heard a voice, and it was my aunt. She's going, "Paul, come here." And I went, "I can't see you." And she said there, "I'm over here, you fucking dickhead." I came over and looked and went, "Oh, hello, Auntie." She goes, "Do you see what's happening around you?" And because I was absolutely drunk, I looked and I went, "I don't see what's going around me, no." She actually hit me a proper backhand on the back of the head. She goes, "You're dozing. Look at the fighting." And what happened was, I was walking where the railings were, and the things I'm going wee at were the glass bottles are flying above my head.
Oh, man. You're lucky you didn't get hit with one.
I know.
Or a guy get hit with a bottle, it didn't even break, and he was fucked up.
But they just must have seen I was drunk, and just left me alone.
They're just fighting right around you.
Yeah. It's the worst bit is when the Mountie goes, "Do you see the fighting?" I'm going, "What fighting?" They're all bloody around me.
It's like 3, 4, 5 fights going on around you.
Yeah, and bottles. Not talking about small beer bottles. We're talking about litre size or 70 cl vodka and whiskey bottles.
Yeah, those will fuck you up.
Yeah, those are flying above my head.
Even a regular bottle, you don't want to get hit with that. Like I said, I seen a guy get hit with that, and he had to go right to the emergency room. Like his head was all fucked up. Like it wasn't all bloody and beaten, but he had a concussion. He was all those glass bottles are pretty hard.
Yeah, they are hard. Hey Willow, how you doing? I remember one time also, I got to use the wording right because where I lived is a big military town. I'm used to hearing rifle fire. It's going to sound weird from England, but I'm from the countryside. We got used to hearing shotguns, and I got used to hearing the British Army rifle, the SLR, and the SA-80 firing.
Okay.
So I'm used to hearing gunfire. And we're at the top of this hill. We walked when I lived in Glasgow, we walked my aunt from the back to the bingo back to home. So me and my other aunt were at the top of this hill, and all I heard was bang, bang, bang. And my aunt's does it's not it's very rare to hear gunfire in Glasgow, so my aunt doesn't recognise gunfire. I said to her, "That's gunfire," and she goes, "No, it's not." I said, "It is gunfire." She goes, "No, it's not. It's a car backfiring or fireworks." So no, it's gunfire. She goes, "You fucking idiot! It's car backfiring." And I went, "Okay then." As we got down, walking down the hill, a mass of police. It was like a sea of police turned up. All these blue lights turned up. The helicopter turned up. Riot vans turned up. And we said, "What happened?" And they said the guy got shot on the doorstep of a pub.
Wow. Yeah, they're really strict on guns over there, aren't they?
Yeah. Well, it's unlike America. America's got the Second Amendment, and
Right.
to people that's sacrosanct. It's untouchable. But over here, we've had mass shootings over here, and every single weapon that's been used in mass shootings, we've had Parliament has gone something about it and banned those weapons.
Has
But
it done any good? Or
yeah, we don't have any. Right, we have knife crime. People have mentioned, but you have knife crime. Yeah,
yeah,
but if we had guns over here, if we introduced said everybody to have guns, we'd have gun crime, massive load of gun crime. But it's stopped. We had somebody who went into a school that was in Dunblane and shot the kiddies at school with a
Jesus
pistol.
Christ.
So we banned the pistols. The only time you're allowed to use a pistol if it's locked up in a range, or in like a firing cabinet in the range area. It's the only time you're going to use that pistol. We've also banned some semi-automatic rifles because of a shooting that happened in where was it? In Berkshire. Some guy called Michael Ryan used a Kalash AK-47 to go and kill a lot of people. So we banned those weapons too.
So you guys have a lot of, because I don't really hear about the shootings. I think I heard of like one, but I don't really hear about the shootings over in England like I do, like you hear over here, you know?
Yeah. America is the only country that's worse than America for shootings is Brazil.
Really?
Yeah. I think we see it is okay. We know we've got knife crime. It's a problem. It is a problem. But if we started introducing guns and arming citizens with guns would be a massive problem too.
You think so?
Yeah, I definitely know so. Definitely know so.
Well, how's the crime over there? Like regardless, or you have a lot of crime? You seeing a spike in it, or
It depends where you are, mate. If you go
right.
to like inner city London, because inner city London's the poorer areas, and you go to loads of inner cities, you're going to see more crime in the poorer areas.
Right, yeah, right.
But if you go to outside in the rural areas, you hardly see any crime.
Well, where are you at? You're not in London? I thought you were in London.
I am just outside of London. I am half in the country and half an urban area.
Yeah, so you're like in the outskirts there.
Yeah, I can literally walk out my door, catch a bus, and I can be in a country village within a matter of a half hour to 3/4 of an hour.
Well, people shouldn't sleep on knives either. Knives are dangerous fucking weapon. You don't really want to go up against a knife, man.
No, they don't. That's where you find it's mostly to do with the inner city gangs.
Yeah.
Inner city gangs, it's the weapons they find, it's the weapons they use. They go for a thing. Have you ever heard of a term zombie knife?
No, I haven't.
You know, you see these things like a Rambo knife, and they're made up. They cut all different with different holes in them, stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm familiar with the Rambo knives.
Yeah, like the fancy type blades, like the science fiction type blades.
Oh, okay. I think I know.
They're called zombie knives over here.
Huh.
Yeah, we do have knife. Yeah, she does make a point. We've had knife crime before, the ban on guns, though. But you can survive if somebody goes and stabs you twice, you could survive. If somebody goes and shoots you twice, the possibilities are slightly lesser.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, if somebody stabs you twice, you're in pretty bad shape.
But we can over here. You can own an Uzi if you wanted.
Really?
Yeah,
That's kind of weird.
that's not illegal.
Huh. I wonder what
Um,
that is.
you can get different types of firearm licenses though over
How
here.
hard is that?
It's not very hard.
Huh.
If you're sound mind and you've got no criminal record, you'd get one.
Oh, yeah. That's pretty much how it is here. If you got a clean criminal record, some places, if you have certain crimes, you can have it expunged or sealed so you can get your firearms back. Other ones, though, where you commit certain crimes and you're banned from life. You're banned for life for having firearms.
Yeah.
You get caught with it, it's enhanced penalties, all that other shit.
So you've got a firearm license, then you can have a shotgun license, which covers shotguns and scatterguns and muskets. But then you need a black powder license to handle gunpowder.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. See, I have like black powder guns, but they're like fucking either antiques or they do sell like a 50 caliber black powder rifle that is good for like one shot before you have to reload it, but it's just a massive, massive slug.
That has got to do some damage.
Oh yeah, 50 cal. Yeah, it's huge.
Yeah.
It's like the size of a golf ball. It's big. I've seen the rifle. It's huge.
Is
Hey,
it like what do they call them? Punt guns?
what is it?
A punt gun?
No, that's a shotgun.
Okay.
A pump gun's a shotgun. That's when it's got the pump on it. So when you shoot, then you pump it, it loads another round into it.
No, not a pump gun. I mean a punt gun.
A punt gun. I've never heard that term.
Haven't you? You look them up, mate. Look them up. A punt gun. PUNT gun.
What do you shoot them and then throw it at them, or?
No, it's used. It's a massive, 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 massive musket, and it's designed for duck hunting.
Jesus. Well, that's kind of like what this is like, because a lot of people, like, especially where I'm at, hunting is huge. So you can hunt with like bows and arrows, crossbows. They have black powder hunting season, so you can go with those black powder rifles because the felons here they can't have like a regular gun, but they let them have the black powder rifles. Or
Yeah.
what? I don't know. Some black powder rifles they don't, but like antiques and shit like that, they'll let them use that. Anything before like 1890 something or something. I'm not exactly sure on the logs. I don't do much hunting. I went hunting once. I didn't like it, but
Fair
fucking
enough.
you can yeah, you could definitely like go and do the sport, but like I said, not everybody's gonna be able to
No.
have a fucking rifle.
I-
But as you can see, it really doesn't make too much of a difference because most of the people doing these crimes are people not supposed to have guns any
Yeah.
fucking.
That's very true. I've actually fired a brown bess musket.
Oh yeah, how was that? The kick?
You're shitting me, yeah. You got to stand with your front, with your leg forward and your leg back, and put the weight of your body onto your back leg.
Yeah, I think it'll knock you over, right?
You definitely mean.
Yeah.
I fired it, and you felt a kick, but also I've had one misfire.
Oof.
And when you have a misfire, you point the rifle to the ground
Yep.
and shout misfire. So that's what got taught. So when I had it, the fuse went off. I had seen the spark from the fuse, but the powder didn't light. So I pointed it to the ground. I sort of left it off my shoulder for a little bit. Pointed to the ground and shouted misfire. Next thing you know, it went bang, and my shoulder went.
Wow.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, my shoulder got knocked right back. I've also fired an Army SA-80.
Now what's that?
That's the British Army standard rifle.
Oh, okay.
I fired one of them, and I've also been hunting with air rifles.
You say air rifles?
Yeah,
Well, how was that?
Okay, mate. All right, Michael. Thanks very much for being here, and thank you so much for listening. It's been a pleasure seeing you here, mate.
See
Honestly,
you later, Mikey.
you take care and have a good day. Well, air rifles don't have a kick.
Right.
It's weird seeing a rabbit dying in front of you. If you shoot a rabbit with an air rifle, the rabbits they flip. They almost do like a loop the loop.
Really?
Yeah. And it was just weird. It was a good shot. There was an impressive shot because I didn't see it and I managed to hit it. But as for seeing it done, it was sort of a little bit. But it was for somebody's dinner, so it got used.
What was it, like a 22 or something? The
Yeah,
air rifle?
it was a 2.2 air rifle. I brought one.
Yeah, I heard they're pretty big with those. I seen a guy, he was over in England. He was doing a lot of air gun reviews. He says they're really strict on the firearms, so he was doing the air guns. It's some pretty cool stuff. Some of them, though, seemed weak as hell. Like, wouldn't really do too much. I can't remember what his name was, but he was talking about, like, using them for, like, home defense and stuff like that. I don't know about that, but...
Yeah, there's we've got gas-operated air rifles. We've got a bolt-action air rifle.
Really? Huh,
Yeah.
I'd like to see that.
Oh, it's quite good. I mean, you can even buy an AK-47 air rifle too.
Was that CO2? It's got the CO2.
Yeah, CO2 and spring.
Huh. Yeah, I haven't kept up with too much of that stuff, but I remember seeing this guy who was doing the reviews, and he was talking about he had one that had these huge ball bearings that shot out of it. And
Yeah,
it was supposed to
BB
be-
guns.
Yeah, it was something like that, but this thing was huge. This thing was like a real big Baron. It was like really big. It was probably like, it was bigger than a 22. It had to have been like, I don't know, maybe like a 40 caliber or some shit like that. It was a big, big ball Baron. And it was meant to, like, if somebody was breaking in your house. I still don't see how that would stop. It looked like the thing was losing power like halfway through the air, you know?
But they do because as bullets go down, as bullets travel, they naturally dip, don't they?
Well, I mean, if somebody was breaking in your house, I don't think you'd want it. And they got a gun, and you come with that fucking thing, it ain't gonna do much.
No, it's not. They're going to laugh at you.
Better off throwing it at the guy.
But I do know a funny story about a cannon. When I was younger, I used to be part of the Napoleonics Association, and we used to do reenactments. And one of the stories was that they went into this place, and this person wanted a cannon to be there, so they brung a cannon. They looked at the building, and it was a really old building. And the guy goes to the person in charge of the artillery. He said, "Look, I cannot fire it. If I fire it, your windows are going to smash." The person goes, "No, I want this cannon firing. I want this to be authentic, and I want this to be real. I want it to fire." Person said, "On your own head be it." And when they're doing reenactments, they get the artillery ready for fire. They've got the thing. Next thing you know, bang. And all they heard was the smashing of windows.
Oh, absolutely, man. That thing's got huge amount of fucking power coming out of that.
Yeah, it was pretty funny when the bloke was telling, because he was laughing himself. He's going, we warned him not to do it, and he said he wanted it done. And these windows were old too. They were irreplaceable windows. Just so funny.
What do they do that shit at a range out there? They gotta have a range out there.
Yeah, they do have ranges. We do have ranges. We've got civilian ranges.
I got one right down the road. You can hear them popping off sometimes.
Well, we've got army ones near me, so I can hear the army firing.
Oh yeah, that's got to be something. Your Willow says that the SA-80 is a 5.56. Yeah, that's what the U.S. uses too.
Yeah, the 5.56 NATO caliber.
Yeah, NATO. And then the 7.62. That's there used to be the M60s, And I think that's what the AK-47 uses, the 7.62.
Well, the British Army changed over from the British round to NATO round, but the British round was bigger than the NATO round.
Oh yeah, what was that? It was probably a 7.62.
Yeah, something like that. I think it was a 7.62. I think he fired it from Lee Enfield.
Oh, the Enfield, yeah. I know that they used to use those when they had those Garans in World War II. There, those were fucking 30-30s. Those were a fucking mean slug. There was a 30-yard six, so that was put down people. You get hit with a 30-yard six slug.
Yeah, they would. I mean, I think the Lee Enfield was a better rifle because the amount of ammunition it held. Well, a Grand would hold about seven. Was it 6 or 7 rounds?
Like 8.
About
8 rounds.
Yeah. The Lee Enfield would hold 10 rounds.
Okay, was that a bolt action?
That was a bolt action, yeah.
Yeah, those were powerful fucking rifles back then.
And they still use them up to the 90s as sniper rifles.
Oh, I'm sure. They got some pretty sick shit. Like they were talking about they were talking about the Trump assassination where the guy almost killed Trump. And they said that he was using like a 223 or something.
Yeah.
Might have been a 5.56. I don't think so. I know those ARs. There's 2 versions. One's a 223 and the other one's a 5.56. But they had this sniper on there, this American sniper, and he was talking about what he would have used if he was out going to do. It was pretty interesting shit. They said that Trump would have been dead if
it was a professional.
Chest. Well, yeah, because they said he tried to take a headshot. And that's where, like, if he would have shot his chest, then he would have got him. But
oh yeah, I mean, was that American Sniper movie when he says "aim small, hit small"?
The Patriot.
No, it's that sniper. The guy that he's passed away now. He got shot in the range. The American Sniper.
Oh, yeah. What the fuck was his name? It was shit. I know who you're talking about. They did the movie. Yeah, I keep hearing a lot of that American Sniper movie was bullshit.
I think that's actually his name. That's the actual movie's name, was American Sniper.
No, his name was Chris something.
No,
Chris
that's the movie. Yeah, the movie was American Sniper.
Yeah, American Sniper. Yep. Yeah, it was what guy starred in it? He gets lost in like Afghanistan or some shit.
Yeah, he was. He suffered from PTSD from what happened in Afghanistan because he had to do some stuff that he. It's war, isn't it?
I saw a different one where they were showing these like British commandos and they were like lost. I think it was like in Somalia, some shit.
Oh, you mean there's Bravo 20?
Yeah, it could have been it. They're lost and they have these like tablets to put in the drinking water.
Yep, that's maybe baby Bravo 20. They got lost in the Iraq, the first desert war.
Yeah, they were heading somewhere. They came to a village. I just remember them putting those tablets in the water. They were drinking some stagnant ass water. It was gross.
Oh, those would have been SAS. And
yeah.
But I remember I was working for the army when they went into, was it Sierra Leone, I think? When some British soldiers got captured by some rebels. And they said...
in Africa?
Yeah. It was in the 90s. Early 2000s.
I'm about to grab a cup of coffee. Give me 1 second, Paul. Let me grab my coffee.
All right, sure, man. Sure.
Black. No sugar, no cream.
It's the only way to have it, mate. It's the only way to have it.
I never used to drink it like that. I got to say, it takes some getting used to.
It certainly does.
I'll be right back. I want to talk to you, but I'll be right back.
Okay. I'd just like to say thank you to everybody who's been here and listening to me. It's good to chat about wildcore cool nonsense. It's good just to chat about stuff that doesn't really affect you. And this is what I like to do. Just chat about stuff.
Just going through a bit of a time right now. So yeah, I know black coffee all the way. It's got to be black. No, Mister B. No, 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 no. Iced coffee. What happened to normal coffee? What happened to just black, simple black coffee? Drink it down. Your eyes are pinned for like 24 hours. Then you go for a major crash. What is wrong with that? But I do like a nice bacon sandwich with a coffee. Bacon and sausage. Bread. Tomato sauce. Real butter. Don't do Marge. Or in a roll. Yeah, that would do, B.
Yeah, man, these YouTube people are great, huh?
Oh, yeah, they're fantastic. They're great for giving advice, but they don't take it, do they? They
I
don't
don't
take
think
their own
anybody
advice,
does.
you know?
Well, I mean, you got some fucking weirdos like the Daves and the other fucking losers, but a lot of these people are good people, man.
Yeah, there plenty are good people out here. I won't go to HB's channels anymore now after what he's been doing.
Yeah, he's a fucking weirdo. Before it used to be just weird. Then when he started getting into that monkey shit, I don't know what the fuck happened to him.
Neither do I. Neither do I.
I don't know how he thought that was a good idea. I don't know what the fuck he was trying to prove with that shit, but I don't know. Is he trying to make it acceptable to talk to kids on fucking line? It's just
Yeah,
weird.
we're both men from different parts of the world, and we've both seen sort of lived similar lives, but bit different of cultures and nationalities. But if your mates caught you doing that, what would they do to you?
Dude, I mean, that would be one of the most fucked up things. If I ever came across a friend that I wouldn't fuck with that person. I got kids.
Exactly.
I wouldn't want
Exactly.
anybody. There's not nothing. And Hand Banana is not no fucking kid, dude. That's the problem.
That's what point I'm making too.
Yeah, isn't he like in his 30s, like his mid 30s
Yes,
or something?
yes,
Yeah,
definitely.
I don't know, man.
You just don't say that type of thing in front with children or anything like what he's been doing. And to go onto this app, you're not in your 20s, mate. Stop it. You've got a kiddie yourself. Grow
Well,
up.
that's what makes it fucking scary, dude. I mean, like, I didn't know how bad it had got, but when he was saying some of that shit to that girl, I mean, it was pretty fucking gross. I mean, I don't know why a guy in his fucking 30s would be asking a young girl this type of shit, dude. It was fucking crazy. It was creepy as hell, man.
It is very creepy.
That's what I like. That's what I like about the community here is that when people see that shit, you know, they all seem to band together to get that fucking shit exposed, you know, and so that's what's kind of cool about it, you know.
definitely.
But the people still going there after that shit. I don't know, man. They're like, oh, that's just banana. It's like, what the fuck kind of pass is that, you know?
It
It's
is
just
not.
that's just how he is. It's like, what the fuck?
It is not a pass. You don't do this. If you seen a bloke chat, if you seen one of your friends chatting to an underage girl saying the rude and disgusting things to an underage girl in the real life, not the YouTube world, in real life, would you say, "Oh, don't worry, that's just Dave. He's just a bit funny that way. Don't worry, you can carry on." No, you wouldn't, would you?
Oh, fuck no. I would cut all ties with that person. I wouldn't want nothing to do with that person.
See, I had a mate, or I have known from the age of 5. We went to the 3 schools together, all the schooling together. He came from the same village. I I heard something. I seen something online. This happened about 6 to 7, about 5 years ago. I seen something online, and I'm looking, and I went, what has he done now?" And he'd seen all this stuff come out, and I went to his brother. I said, "I don't talk to your brother anymore." relay the message back to me. I'm done with him. I don't want to speak to him. And his brother goes, okay then. And he goes, look, I've got something to show you, Paul. And I went, okay. So his brother lent then the guy, his brother who I'm talking to, his phone, and he had all these filthy messages, and he had what turned my stomach was he had this message from this girl who was suffering really bad from her mental health, and she had actual a curfew what time to be in, and he was saying, "Don't worry about the curfew. I'll pick you up, we'll drive, and we'll have a quick fuck." Basically,
Oh, Jesus Christ.
yeah. He also asked an escort how much does she charge, and she said she charges for like say for like a half hour £50, for an hour £100. He went to her, how much do you charge for 15 minutes?
Jesus. Just pay the 50, asshole.
Yeah, it is laughable, but I seen these messages, and like I said, I'm now 49 years of age. I've known him since he was 5. I just went, I don't want nothing to do with him now.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I'd cut all ties too. I
Yeah,
wouldn't fuck with nobody like that. That's fucking disgusting. That's what I
yeah,
don't understand, man. These people, they know they get caught. You know, they know that they're gonna all be exposed and all this other shit. They still fucking do it. Like with Banana, when I first met him, I was like, this guy's weird. You know, like just something was jumping out. Like this guy's weird. Like he
mm,
doesn't have his shit together. You know, I know times are tough. You know, so
yeah.
you know you got to do what you got to do. You know, I'm not trying to shame nobody or no shit like that, but
No, no,
guy,
no, no.
he's a little bit older. You know, I figured he should have something going on. Then I find out he's a father. Then I find out, dude, he's doing his fucking lives in his bedroom, dude. He lives with his mom. And then he goes from all that, which I thought was weird, like weird as fuck. So I didn't really want nothing to do with him. I'm like, I got nothing to gain or nothing of value coming from this guy. I
Yeah,
knew a lot of people like to go over there and shoot the shit and shit. That was fine. You know, I didn't really see nothing wrong with it. But once this shit came out that he was talking to these kids and shit, I was like, oh my fucking God. I didn't think that was going to be a thing, to tell you the truth. I
I
thought
wouldn't
you knew better,
thought
you
that
know.
neither. No, I wouldn't thought that neither.
I gotta say, like, I wasn't a fan of the guy or nothing, but I had no idea that he was gonna go to that far. Whether he's doing it to shock people on the internet or he's doing it just because he's that way, dude, it's still wrong. It's still fucked up, dude. I mean, come on, man. Dude, I got kids that are that age. You
Yeah,
know, it's like, could you imagine your kids in the other room on a device and they're talking to him? You know, how the fuck would he like it if his kid was older talking to a guy like him? I'm sure he wouldn't like it. Well, who the fuck knows with him? Because I really don't know what his deal is.
I don't know. I mean, like I say, I used to go and enjoy going on his channel and chatting to him. But now I'm glad I've stepped away from him now.
Yeah, but when you were there, Paul, it didn't have nothing to do with kids and shit, right?
No, no, very. If he dad had, I would have walked away there.
I thought he was just talking shit about people on the internet. Like, I knew he didn't like Joe. I knew that, you know, he wasn't a big fan of mine. I know fucking, you know, he didn't like Cheesehead and shit. I thought he just kept it at that. You know, I thought he was weird, but I didn't know he was like creep fucking weird. And people are still over there. Fucking, I hear Julia still goes over there. I don't know what the fuck her issue is.
I
Fucking Mike.
don't
You know,
know.
Mike swears he ain't going there, but he'll be back sooner or later. You know he will.
We all know that. We
Yeah,
do.
they'll all make up. They'll all make up and be fucking kissing and hugging in no time.
Yeah, definitely. That is. Well, what can you say? You can only just say, "Why the hell you do? What the hell you doing over there?"
I mean, fucking Eric Lawless. I mean, I know he's a fucking weirdo, but you know, I know fucking I didn't know he was into all this shit. I mean, he's talking about Cheese's fucking niece and shit. Like, what the fuck's the matter with this? Dude, he's talking about Silly Wabbit's dead kid. I was fucked up. You know, all that shit's fucked up.
I mean, yeah. I mean, bring the dead into it when they can't defend themselves, and bringing children is next tier bullshit.
Yeah, but see what Flaky Jake, salute. Yeah, see, he says he's an alcoholic, but I've been an alcoholic for fucking years. And no matter how fucking shit faced I got, I mean, I did some fucking crazy shit and said some crazy shit, but I never, dude, even being dead fucking wasted drunk. Everybody knows you don't fuck around with no kids.
I've been in the pub from 11 o'clock at night and 11 o'clock in the morning, and I've never done that.
Yeah, no, I know. It's like, dude, you could be dead shit faced, walk right by a kid, dude. You don't even give that
Yeah.
a second thought. You're not
No.
gonna stop to talk to no kid, dude. You know, I just don't get it, man.
Or
It's like,
unless a kid gives you a bit of smack talk, then you go fuck off, you little brat, before I slap you one.
yeah, I mean, but dude, this guy's talking to him about dude asking a little girl if
No,
she
no, you
work.
don't,
Dude,
no,
what the
no,
fuck is up with that, man? I didn't
no.
even know he did that until Cheese and Jake told me. I
Yeah,
was like,
I've
you gotta
seen,
be
I've
kidding.
seen it, mate. I've seen it.
Yeah, you've seen it, dude. That's fucking crazy. I didn't know. I thought the worst thing he did was when he had those boys on and he was talking about one taking the lava lamp up their ass. I'm like,
Oh,
Jesus Christ, that's fucking crazy. I'm like, why would you even say that? You sick fuck.
if that was in England, if this was in England, he would have been arrested.
Yeah, well, I'm not totally convinced he ain't doing something illegal. I mean, it just don't seem right, right?
No, I don't think he's done anything, but it's not right. I don't think he's done anything legal, but it's not right to say.
It should be a crime, dude, to be talking sexual with fucking
It
children. I
it
don't care.
it is a crime in Britain. It is a crime. If you ever talk like that, either joking around or anything like that, you'd be hauled up, you'd be either fined or imprisoned in case of serious, and you'd be signed on the sexual offences register.
And especially him. I mean, doesn't he have a fucking girlfriend or something? He's got a kid's mother, right? I mean,
Yeah, yeah. He's got a young daughter of 5 or 6, I think. Now.
well, that's what I heard. Because I
Hmm.
remember I did a live on him like a year or two ago. And he came at me over something. So I was like, "You piece of shit!" And I did this fucking live on him. It was like a long live, dude. I was just talking
Yeah.
mad shit about him, dude. A lot of people were jumping because a lot of people don't like that guy. After that, I just kind of just left him alone. It was like, "You're over there," you know. And even now, I barely talk about the fucking guy because I just can't stand him. But then when I saw this shit, I was like beside myself. I'm like, why the fuck? I mean, he's been on the internet for quite a while. I
Yeah,
mean,
definitely.
yeah,
Yeah, definitely. He has, and look at his channel. My channel's bigger than his channel now.
yeah. Well, I mean, it should be because he's got trash. He's got fucking trash, dude. You're talking to kids and shit. You shouldn't even be on the fucking internet, as far as I'm concerned.
No, I totally agree with you.
And it's not like he's got a problem with this shit. He kept that fucking thumper around for quite a while, from what I understand. See, I never
Thump,
watched the guy. I never watched him like that, but I would hear. It's like, oh, he's still fucking around with this guy. It's like, why would you have this guy around you? It's
mm,
like, really, why would you have this guy around you? You know what he is. You know what he did. I mean, I don't care what anybody says about that fucking scumbag, that thumper. He paid his debt, whatever the fuck, dude. You don't change people like that.
no,
They
you
don't
certainly
change.
don't. You certainly don't. You can't, and especially with Dave too. I did say to him one day. He said, I said you deserve jail in the chat, and he goes, come up and talk. I thought I'm not going to give you any airtime for me to talk to you.
Yeah, fuck that, dude. I wouldn't let him nowhere near my shit. That fucking thumper there. As soon as they found him out, dude, you got Mike backstage talking to him. He's scared of the fucking pedophile coming after him. Dude, fuck that, dude.
Jesus Christ, get some balls, man. Get some
Hey, who
balls.
would be afraid of that fucking crumb? I mean, it would be a pleasure taking him and stomping the fuck out of him, dude. I mean, come on, man, that piece of shit.
I can understand, but I can understand what you're saying. But try to leave out the stomping the piece of.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
I totally agree with you, though.
Don't want to ruin the monetization there. And it sucks, dude. That should be totally acceptable with YouTube, too, but.
Yeah, what makes me laugh is HB's monetized, and his
Oh,
name.
is he?
Yeah,
How the fuck do you pull that off with all the weird shit he's got going on?
exactly. It's very difficult. It shouldn't happen. I agree that YouTube should take off his monetization.
think they should take him off, period, dude, if he's on that monkey shit.
Definitely.
They shouldn't be platforming that shit, dude. I'm sorry.
No.
Because you know what that does? That gives other fucking weirdos ideas. You know what I'm saying? They're like, oh, this guy's doing it. You know, people think like that too. A
Oh,
lot of
definitely,
people
yeah.
think like in a herd mentality. You know what I'm saying?
It does. I mean, what I'm sort of high in the drama section, I know, but I'm sort of out of it too. I don't do content about anybody. You rarely see me do content about anybody there, do you? My content's about crimes and stuff and just doing these lives now.
Yeah, man. I mean, hey, do whatever. I
Mm.
mean, when I go live, I don't even know what the fuck I'm going to do live for. I go live just to see people, you know, to be like, hey, how's everyone doing, or whatever.
I just wanted to do a live today because I was feeling shit. I still am feeling shit, but it's great to talk to people because it takes my mind off.
Well, that's like what Cheese and Jake do. They don't go live with any specific thing. They just go live to shoot the shit with people. That's why I like going there, you know.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
I mean,
They're funny people too.
they talk their shit in the
Yeah.
beginning, you know, but that's not the whole show, you know what I'm saying?
No, definitely.
Well, it's always a good time. That's why it's one of the channels I always go and try to frequent when I can.
Yeah, I mean, same here too. I like going on there and having a chat. I like going on yours and having a chat too.
Yeah, man.
You know, it's like what I like doing. All right, people may call me boring, but they haven't led my life and they don't know me. And
Dude, only like one person's called you fucking boring, dude.
Two people, mate. Two people.
Two people. That ain't shit.
I know, but I don't give a fuck I don't give a monkeys on what other people say about me across the pond. It's not going to affect my personal life.
Exactly.
You know.
Exactly.
Yeah, I made some great friends here, and I will continue meeting good people, and continue having a chat. Whether you have a difference of opinion, that's fair enough. It always happens that way in life.
Well, a lot of people have difference of opinion. It's just when people try to prove one opinion over the other is when you start having a problem. You know, it's like like if we both disagree on something, and I'm not gonna let it go, and I'm gonna try to force you to take my opinion, then we're gonna have a big problem. You know what I'm saying? That's what happens a lot of times when people try to prove. Sometimes, though, people have an opinion, and then they'll see the wisdom of another one and kind of change their perspective. But that's something that has to happen naturally. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I've seen people have opinions about you, and seen some things what they're right about you.
But, yeah, well, me?
Yeah. I mean, this is back in like a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but get to chatting to you, you're a good person, mate.
Well, see, the problem was though, like I was convinced of my own superiority. You know what I'm saying? I was convinced that like I was doing this cutting edge fucking shit because I could fucking down a whole bunch of booze and still fucking try to follow along. And it was kind of getting worse and worse and worse. You know what I mean? There's a big difference coming on and having a couple drinks while you're on. There's a difference though when you come on and you're killing whole bottles and whole 12 packs, and then you're looking for more booze. You know, and that's like where this thing was going. It's like Brett had said. Like he would listen to me, you know, like, oh, I just grabbed my bottle. Now I'm coming to go online, you know, because I was treating this like a ballroom. And I was getting fucking totally wasted. I was having a lot of blackout streams too. But I didn't even know how the hell I ended the stream. I didn't know who was on the panel, you know, and then I wouldn't go back and watch my shit, so I wouldn't know what I looked like while I'm doing this. I thought I was super cool, you know.
It turns out, it's that image. I mean, especially when I've been in a pub too. I've been so pissed on about. I thought I'm like sober and everybody loves me. They look at me thinking you're just being a drunk twat, mate.
Right, and they think that's all there is to you, you know. Yeah. No, I get it, but I mean, you can't blame people for thinking that because if that's all people see all the time. You know, like every time they have an interaction with you, because when you log off, you're not with any of these people.
No.
So every time you go on the internet and you're totally fucking shit faced, well, that's what people are gonna think. Well, every time I see you, you're fucked up, so that's how it must be. That's
Yeah.
and that's not a far off opinion.
No, because that's what a book by its cover. If that's your cover when you're there with them, that's all they're going to see.
I just took the whole fucking Doc Holiday thing a little too far, you know. I took that fucking persona a little too far. I'm like, well, Doc Holiday drinks booze all the time, so I gotta drink booze all the time.
Oh, trust me, mate. I've been with the booze too. Like I said, I used to go through 2 bottles of Jack Daniels in one night.
Well, it always used to be, and I'm sure, you know, because we're not too far apart. You're in England, I'm in New England, you know. So, but booze has always been socially acceptable. It's always been,
Yes.
you know, it wasn't like doing a drug. It's like, oh, he just drank. It's like, no, he ain't on nothing. No, he just had a drink. So growing up, it's like, you know, all the adults are drinking and, you know, they're having a good time and the parties and shit. And, you know, the bands are playing. So you think, well, that's what you're supposed to do,
Mm.
you know, and it just got out of hand to the point where it's like, well, now the only time I can have a good time is by getting fucking shit faced. The only time I can come online is when I got a buzz and shit. Because that first time back when Jamie hit the link a while back, that first time I came on, I was actually nervous online. And my brain was scrambled for a couple weeks after that. Like I really couldn't form coherent sentences. I would have ideas, cut off other ideas. I don't know if I'm making too much sense here, but
No, you get me. When I first started in here, I was nervous. When I started thinking of ideas to do up the channel, I was thinking of different ideas with the ideas I was thinking of. If you get my meaning.
yeah, no, I do. I definitely do. And then like once I tried to take that away, then it's like now it's changing a major part of you, and now you're self-conscious. You know what I'm saying? Now it's like fuck, people are looking at me. Now it's like now I don't know what to do. Now I can't think of nothing. It was just for me it was a little weird, you know. But see, I didn't want to listen to nobody, and I can't blame the people. You know, I never got mad at the people because, and even that, like a lot of people wondering, you know, they'd be talking shit about me, but then when they come to my channel, I'd throw them a wrench because I just thought they didn't know what they were talking about.
Mm.
And they'll see that they were wrong, but it was like the more I kept doing it, the more I'm proving them right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, I give my wrenches. There's a few people have got wrenches. There's a couple of people got moderating wrench. I'm not going to mention names and all that because that's my business. But I don't give out wrenches regularly, and I feel like my chat could regulate itself better than I could when I'm chatting to somebody.
See, I give out wrenches. The people that I know are like good people. You know what I'm saying? Like if I see some kind of good quality about them, and so the people that have wrenches, they have wrenches because I genuinely like them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it could be, you know, they either said something that I totally agree with, or just something that they did in my travels that showed me a little something about them. Like these are really good people. These aren't fake people. You know what I'm saying? There's other people that, you know, I've given them wrenches just because they showed up, but then I'd take them away. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'd be like, what the fuck? Why am I wrenching this person up? But there's people out there that I've seen. A lot of these people are genuinely good people, and that they're not like really rooting for your self-destruction like I used to think. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I used to get in my head, oh, you disagree? Oh, you're talking? Oh, you're just a piece of shit, you know? And I would just fucking fly off the handle like that. I mean, not saying that there aren't some people like that, you know, but some people, dude, they just the way they put their words together, the things that they say, you know, even if it was in kind of like a fucked up, you know, they're talking a little shit or something, I can still see the underlying, well, this is still a good person. You know what I'm saying? So I try to keep them around. You know, there's other people, though, it's just like, you know, people come and, oh, I don't get a wrench. It's like, well, it's because you're not supposed to have one.
Yep. Or I get it now because got timed a couple of people out, and they're like totally against the channel now because I've timed them out.
Yeah, see, that's ridiculous. Like, I mean, people got to look at what they've done, you know? Like, some people just, they don't want to take accountability for nothing. And I totally get that, you know? It's like when people used to try to tell me shit, I'd be like, no, you're full of shit. You don't know what you're talking about. I would dismiss it right away, you know? And I'm glad that a lot of those people still stuck with me, you know, because it's kind of ignorant thing for me to do. Just be like, oh, your opinion's not valid because I don't agree with it. No, it doesn't work.
Yeah. Yeah, but most people do like your channel. You find out a lot of people do go and they can have chat, they can chat shit, they can talk about some serious stuff, or they can just chill out and listen.
Well, no, I definitely appreciate what people bring, you know, and that's why, like, with the whole Brett thing, when that first started, man, I was just so angry, you know, that I flew off at the fucking mouth. And then when I really finally took a look at what I had did, that's why I apologized. It wasn't because I was scared of the guy. You know, I'm definitely not scared of it. I'm not afraid of none of that shit. I just when I looked at it, I'm like, I kind of put myself in those shoes. Like, what would you have done? Well, meaning me. What would I have done if somebody had said all this about me and about, you know, my family and shit? I'd have been pissed. I knew it. So honestly, I had to turn around and be like, "Nah, man, I do owe this guy an apology."
I can sort of got a story that goes with you. When I was in Glasgow for my aunt's funeral, when I was coming back, I was tired, I was emotional. I went onto the bus and seen this guy sitting at a seat where I thought it was mine. He said, "Excuse me, mate, you're on my seat." He goes, "No." I said, "You need to move off my seat. That is my seat. I've got the ticket there." I'm not. This is my seat, and I ended up saying, "Just fucking move off your seat." And I'm calling the driver. He's on and goes, "No, that's your seat." Oh, fuck! I said, "Okay." Sat in there. This bloke goes, "You going to give me an apology?" And I looked at him and went, "No." Then, like an hour into the journey, I managed to calm myself down, and I said, "Look, I'm really sorry. I've travelled like over 1,600 miles in the space of this week. I've had to go to my aunt's funeral. I had to go to the funeral there. I'm just emotional and I'm just tired. But I hope you accept my apology." And he goes, "No, I accept it." I said, I don't do this often, but I'm really sorry." And I just left it there.
Yeah, that was big of you, man.
Yeah.
But see, the internet's a little different. See, the first thing I got Ham Banana's bitch ass talking about, look how soft Doc is. Doc's so soft.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
As opposed to what? How hard I am when I'm shit-faced drunk, threatening some guy's fucking wife. That's what you admire? You fucking dick sucker. But, you know, me apologizing for all that shit. Oh, that's the same thing with fucking Nunzio. That got his bitch ass coming out of the woodwork, right? Which I'm totally convinced that he was behind that shit because he admitted it. And, you know, people were trying to blame Dutchie for that. Dude, I like Dutchie. I don't care what anybody says, dude.
I like Dutchie too.
I know that's, you know, even a lot of my old supporters got all pissed off about that, but I like her, dude. I like her a lot. And, you know, fucking, when that shit went on, you know, they were trying to convince me that it was her because they wanted her gone from the channel and shit. I wasn't going to do that, dude. And to this day, I do not believe that she had anything to do with it. Does she like Brett and them? Probably not. You know, would she be like, hey, look, this guy's a piece of shit? Probably. But, dude, for people to think that she stood there and condoned me talking all this shit about fucking this guy's wife and shit, dude, absolutely not. Yeah. Absolutely fucking not. She actually came up on my panel before and was like, "Doc, I do not agree with a fucking thing you said about this guy." Like, you know, 100%, dude. You know?
Just she's a straight shooter.
Well, that's like, because they're like, "Oh, she's not your friend," and this, idea. And it's like, look, I don't doubt that. But, you know, like, I like her. I have respect for her. We, you know, we kind of had a cordial thing. I know she's not on YouTube no more. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I know fucking, you know, at that time, really, like her not fucking, not being a big fan of mine wasn't a surprise. It's like if you look at our interactions, you know, I'm cutting her off. I'm cutting people off on the panel. I'm trying to yell over people. You know what I'm saying? If you hear a
Yeah.
lot of those old panels when I'm on panel, it's me being drunk trying to like yell my point the loudest, you know, trying to get my shit, dude. I'm constantly interrupting everyone. Now it's like I'm a little more reserved. I'll listen to what somebody's got to say before I'm just like, you know, throwing anything out there. You know
So
what I'm
you're more coherent.
Yeah, I mean, I always thought I was coherent. You know, at least I could put the sentences together. But at this point, like, I'm more like, I don't want to say cordial, but what's the word? Like, I'm more,
Receptive.
well, yeah, I guess that would be a good one because I'm actually listening before I see. When I would go up on a panel, I saw somebody that I wanted to fuck with. I really wouldn't care what they're saying. I wouldn't even basically allow them to say anything. A lot of
Yeah. I do remember those days, Doc. I've seen you on
I would,
panels
I would
those
cut them off.
days.
Right. I would make sure that I'm the only one you're gonna fucking hit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I knew it would aggravate people. So I was actually doing it somewhat on purpose. And then the other part I'm doing it because that's actually how I am at that moment. You know? I'm totally wasted and nobody means a fucking thing except for me, my feelings, my world, you know, and that was one thing I'm glad I changed.
Yeah. If you feel like you need change and you've changed, that's what you needed to do.
Yeah, I didn't feel like it at first, but afterward I was like, I'm glad I did. Like even like days like this, I have a hard time right now not running to the liquor store and shit like that. Only because, you know, it's a really nice day out, you know, and like
Well,
you start sitting there like what do you do with yourself? You know what I'm
I have
saying?
the same type of problem. If I go out, because I've had a gambling problem.
Yeah. I remember you saying that, yeah.
Yeah. So I used to spend like £25 to £50 on one spin. That'd be like almost $55, $60 on a spin there.
Yeah, right. That'll eat up your fucking wallet.
Yeah. But it is sometimes hard for me to walk past the bookies. Is like the other day, I had some money and I was in town and I'm thinking, oh, if I could just take out £40 from the cash machine and nip over there, I could win this amount of money.
Right. You don't look at what you could win. You look at how much you're losing by not playing.
Yeah, but then I think about it and went, no, what happens if you lose that money? You need that money. What happens if you're going to lose it? Don't be stupid and just walk past it.
Yeah, and the old you would have been like right in there, been like, well,
yeah.
figure something out if I lose it.
The old me would have been winning £500 and putting that back into the machine. I can treble this.
That's all the stories I always hear. People saying they were up, and then they couldn't stop and they wanted to win more. They got greedy and they lost it all. Ended up going into their pocket and spending more.
Yeah, I won over £5,000 one day, and I ended up losing most of it.
See, I know people say this, like if I would have won $5,000, I probably would have. I don't know, man. It's a hard one to say because I probably would have looked at it like, well, I only started with this amount. But I know a lot of people like to say, well, if I was up, I would have just left. But see, what happens is people, they try to win a little bit more, they lose some, and they're like, fuck, they want to win back that amount. And then
you're playing the chase game. It's the chase game.
Yep.
You're chasing that money.
End up losing the whole fucking pot.
Yeah. I'd done that once. Not good. It wasn't a good time. But mind you, it did one time. I ended up homeless. And I had like £30 left, and I was with my mate in the bookies, and he goes, "What are you doing? That's the only money you've got." I said, "Oh no, but just let me have fun." I put the money in it. First spin, £500.
Wow.
I just walked away. I said, "No, I'm not spending that. I need that." He goes, "I don't blame you." Yeah.
Yeah, you got lucky.
Oh, lucky. Yeah, definitely lucky. £500, the jackpot in that machine.
I personally have never had that. I tried. Everybody swore I had this great luck because I was good at playing cards.
Yep.
I went to, they had this casino in Rhode Island. It was called Twin River. And I went in there and I was playing those, the video slots there. And boy, I lost it all fast too.
Jeez.
I didn't win shit. Yeah.
I had a great uncle who lived in Providence.
Oh, yeah? No shit.
Yeah. Yeah. He moved from Glasgow. He moved from Glasgow to Providence, but he was gassed in World War One.
Oh boy!
And he got invalided out of the army. And
that mustard gas, I heard that was
there was either mustard gas or anthrax gas. You know,
did his voice was his voice all fucked up and everything?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. He died in the 30s.
Oh, all right.
So this is the story I got told. So he moved. He went to Australia. Then he moved to. Because he fancied this girl and wanted to just get married to this girl, and the family wouldn't let him. So he was on the ship going to America to find this girl. Then he met his wife on the ship. So he married somebody else. Yeah. And they lived in Rhode Island there. And one of the stories was that he had an operation for appendicitis. They opened him up and he died of the operating table because the effects of the gas was still in his body.
Oh, that's too bad, man.
Yeah.
He lived through all that just to fucking go out on the table. That's such a fucked up way, man.
I mean, I also had another relative who fought in the Great War, survived the whole of the Great War, he died in the 1920s due to a heart attack because of the Great War.
Really?
Yeah.
What, he just never got over it?
I don't think his body got over the war.
Jeez, man.
That
was a horrible thing, man. They make it seem like with the video games. And,
yeah.
Yeah, they make it seem like it's like all heroic. And war was nothing like that, man. It was brutal. It was horrible. It was hell.
Well, you talk about World War One because that was a static war. That was a static war. So the people were dying on the trenches and dying in the fields, and they were dying, and they had to virtually climb over their own dead comrades.
Oh, dude, that war was fucking brutal. They said those guys were in water for so long, they got that trench foot. A lot of them had to have their feet amputated and all that other shit. Oh, man. That was the first war. They were using chemical warfare, new inventions like the tank and everything else.
They used to say, from a World War One battlefield, you knew you're coming close to one because you could smell it before you enter it.
Oh, dude, yeah. Nothing smells worse than like rotting flesh or a dead body, man.
It would have been rotten flesh. It would have been the smell of human waste.
Well, have you ever smelt a dead body?
Yeah.
It is the most putrid, fucking gross. This guy who lived in the neighborhood on Thurbers Avenue, because they have what's called the Thurbers Avenue curve on the highway on 95. You get off the exit where the hospitals are, Eddy Street and all that in Providence. And it's like exit 18 or something.
Yeah.
And this guy, they have all tenements. I don't know if you've seen Boston or whatever, but they're all 3-story apartment buildings.
Oh, I know tenements. We have got them in Glasgow.
Right. So this guy died on the second floor. He's an old man. And they left his body. Well, they didn't leave it, but they didn't know it for like a week. And let me tell you something, man. You could smell this fucking guy across the street. Damn. It was so fucking hot. I'll never forget that smell for the rest of my life.
No.
It was the worst. It was a mix between the worst shit you've ever smelled, with trash, of fucking like rotting fish, it was the worst smell, dude. When it hits your nose, you'll never forget. Even right now, like I'm cringing thinking about that smell.
Yeah,
smell. It was so strong. And I only got a quick whiff, and I was across the street, and I could smell this guy in his apartment dead. And when the coroner got there, dude, they opened up the window. You should have seen the amount of flies that came out of this fucking place. It was so gross. That's why I don't understand. These people talking about, oh, this guy killed these people, had them buried under his house. How? How the fuck could you live in that place with that smell?
Well,
First,
They
dude.
would have disguised they would disguise the smell with lime, wouldn't they? Lime powder.
How though? Like, still, lime might do a little bit, but dude, that fucking smell is so out overpowered.
Well, we had one guy over here that used to. He was known. He was a mass endist. I'm going to use it because you've got to be careful on what words you used. And the bodies he used to put into acid.
What, to dissolve?
Yep. And he used to pour them down the drain.
Well, where the hell do you get acid at?
Well, you can buy. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure you can make acid from car batteries.
Fucking end is resourceful, huh?
Yeah. So you used to have barrels full of acid and put the bodies, and the police found this sludgish matter in the drain pipes.
Oh, I heard about this guy. Yeah, he got caught because a plumber was finding all these chunks of human flesh, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard about this guy. I heard about that guy.
There's also one guy. He was in the army. He was in the army catering corps, and he ended up being jailed for what's his name? Let me get this. Get his name. Done some terrible things too. Okay, Dennis Nielsen.
Oh, Nielsen? Yeah, I heard about him too.
Yeah, he was he was from Scotland. He was friendly with dead bodies. I'm not going to say what he done.
God, he was like fucking them.
Yeah, we tried to keep down the language, man, on that one. Yeah.
Yeah, it's so gross, dude. Who the hell would be able to do that? It's dead people.
Yeah, he done that to dead. He done that to dead people, and he ended up. Oh God, what happened there?
I mean, you guys know, like Dave, Suge Dave, dude. He would do dead people.
Oh no, I couldn't think like that. Damn.
Yeah, he'd love it.
Yeah, he actually died in prison. He actually survived till 2018, and he wasn't going to be allowed out of prison ever again.
Good. He shouldn't be.
He ended 12 young men and boys between 1978 and 1983.
What a sick motherfucker, dude. There's a lot of people like that. They say there's over 3,000 serial enders roaming around California right now.
Shocking, isn't it?
Yeah, they said at any given time. It's hard to believe with all the technology and everything they have.
I mean, that's how Ted Bundy got away not through the police. He got away with it most of the times because of police mistakes, didn't he?
My mother said she met him.
Yeah?
Yeah, she said she was hitchhiking in Florida around that time, and that she met a guy give her a ride in a fucking a Volkswagen, one of those bugs. She said she got in. She said she looked at the door. She noticed there was no door handle. So when he pulled up to a red light, she rolled the window down real quick and jumped out of the car. Then she said that she saw the Volkswagen circling around the block, like looking for her. She was hiding in some bushes.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, she told me. She said she's 100% convinced she met him one night.
My mum said she met a person called Bible John.
I've never heard of him.
Yeah, so Google Bible John Glasgow. And my mum said she met him, and she said this weirdo started quoting Bible verses because my mum was a bit religious at that point too. She started quoting them back. Then he left her alone.
Well, those people with the Bible, man, they hide a lot of their shit and they justify it with the Bible. So you got to watch out.
Yeah.
You got to watch out for them, like Bible thumpers. Like, I don't mind. I totally believe that there's a God and everything else. I totally believe that because science can only explain things to so much, you know. So the only thing that would actually make sense is that there's actually a being that can step outside of time and all that other shit, what we would perceive, you know.
I did have this conversation with somebody before, and I said it's a matter of faith. If you've got faith, and faith is a brilliant thing, then you believe it, then it's true to you.
Well, I think to a point, because I think it only makes sense. The only thing I'm not sure about is I'm just not sure about some of the other things, like actually who is good, who is evil, because there's two different religions in the United States. All right. Well, two
Mhm.
predominantly that people don't really understand. There's the Christian faith, which, I mean, like the Vatican and everything else is totally corrupted. I mean, if
Oh,
you look at it,
definitely,
totally
100%.
corrupted. But there's also a Luciferian religion here with the Masonries and all that, which actually founded the country. And they don't look at Lucifer as a demon. They don't look at him as evil. They look at him as a savior, which is fucking crazy. Like, it's not like satanic or nothing like that. They look at Lucifer as the light bearer. And in their faith, they believe that Lucifer brought the light to the humans, and that's why he was exiled, because he was actually trying to help man. That's what they believe. Now, in Christian, we all know Lucifer's the devil.
Yes.
He's evil. He's the father of all lies, everything like that. But there's also, like, on these Masonic temples and shit, you'll see they have pentagrams and everything else all over them, because they believe in a Luciferian fucking doctrine where Lucifer is the savior. He's the light bearer. Some people actually believe the Statue of Liberty isn't Lady Liberty, that it's actually Lucifer.
It's definitely Lady Liberty.
That's what we've been brought to believe, but
Yeah.
there's other people
Oh
that
no,
say,
there's the reason why I know it's Lady Liberty is because there's other statues of the Statue of Liberty in France.
yeah, but that don't mean that that's the Statue of Liberty. Look what France just did during the 2024 Olympics. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that is a bit far out. That
That
really
shit was crazy, and they tried cleaning it up, saying that it was some Greek. But the actors that were involved with it said right out that they were imitating the Last Supper. So, which I believe, like, I believe that fucking there's a lot more going on than what we think. I'm not trying to get all conspiracy theories.
No. They're definitely doing it. It's not a conspiracy theory to say they're not telling us everything.
Well, remember what they say. It's like if they lead you astray, right? If they like lead you away from God, then you're still punished for it, even if you were totally ignorant to it. You still get punished, even if you were tricked into it. You're still punished for it the same. So people really need to take heed. You need to watch out. It's like there are forces here that, like, it's hard to believe that they do everything they do just for simple old money. Like, think about it, dude. Like, they already have all the money. So what more could they want?
If you're going to use the Vatican as a prime example, the Vatican is its own country inside the country.
Yeah, it's its own country. Yep.
Yeah, and it's got its own bank.
It's the smallest country in the world.
Exactly. Yep. And then there's things in the Vatican, and this has been proven that they're not letting out on purpose.
Well, the thing about the Vatican, man, is that fucking they find what is it? It's not satanic, but it's they're finding fucking pagan symbolisms all through it. Which, like, they did this big thing. They did this big painting or a mural in the Vatican, and this tree they put in it it's from pagan origins.
Oh, is that the Michelangelo painting on the ceiling?
No, that's the Sistine Chapel.
Okay.
No, this was something different, dude. Like, it wasn't too long ago. If I can find it, I'll look at it. But it was some tree that was incorporated, and then something about the staff that the Pope was holding actually has like the same staff. It's like it's on the Baphomet's belt.
No, his stuff is more symbolic. I think it's more because it's a crook, and to show that people he is the shepherd and we is as lambs.
Yeah, but at the fucking top of it, it's got the two serpents coming together, which is fucking crazy. Which I'm not saying, dude, it could be, it couldn't be. But I'll tell you this, man. They're absolutely saying that 100% without a doubt that demons exist. And if that's true, then God has to exist by default.
Well, we've seen demons exist by man, don't we?
Well, not just that, though. Like they were saying, have you ever had that sleep paralysis?
Yes, I definitely have. I know exactly what you're going to say. Yes.
Well, I don't know about it. Like just recently, I see that they're trying to say that that's actually a demon.
Well, yeah, that's actually a Native American superstition.
No, I never heard that it was a demon because I've asked the doctor before. I've had it. I haven't had it in a long time, but they say when that happens to you, that there's something not right with you spiritually.
Yeah, I've had that more than twice. More than twice. And
Yeah,
it's only happened in one place, nowhere else. Just that one place.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, that might mean something. I don't know.
Yeah, but that's only happened. I woke up and I felt the quilt getting tight. The quilt getting tight around me, and I tried to call in out, and all I can do is I can do the voice. I was going, and I couldn't talk.
I never seen nothing when I had that. I never see because they said that you could see like figures and
Yeah,
have like
it's usually a black shadow. You see, sometimes the people said the most popular one is a black shadow.
I've never seen anything. I've just not been able to move or talk.
The weirdest thing I've ever seen, and this is no kidding on. Now, Britain's railway network is old. It's the first railway network in the world. And I was at this train station, and on the tannoy system or speaker system, there's a voice came out and said, "Please stand behind the yellow line. An express train is coming through." And there was only a couple of people on the platform, and I turned around and looked, and I seen the back of this guy. He was wearing a top hat. You know what I mean? Like a dinner suit, a big old Victorian.
Yeah. I know.
And you had a cape. Yep, you had the cape, and you had a walking stick, a walking cane.
Man, that was how you dressed, man. That was some fancy shit back then.
That was some fancy shit. I seen a person standing on the platform, and he was dressed in that. I turned around and said, just about, it didn't take me. And then I looked and went, fuck, no. I was just about to shout to him, "Oh, mate, stand behind the other line," because the express train coming through, and he just disappeared. There's nobody else. He couldn't have disappeared on the track because they would have seen him. He couldn't have gone past where the platform was. He just vanished into thin air.
Well, what do you think? It was a ghost?
I don't think it was a ghost per se. I think it was more seen a living memory. If that makes more sense than a ghost.
I've never seen a ghost.
I've heard ghosts.
I've seen, well, a good friend of mine who I know is not a liar. He swears that he's seen a ghost, that he actually talked to one when he was a kid. And if it was anyone else, I wouldn't believe him. But I know this guy isn't a liar like that. He don't make up stories. He also said, well, these were old houses out in Maine. And I guess that are parts of the Underground Railroad back in like the 1860s and shit like that used to run through there up when slaves were trying to run to Canada. And there was a barn there. And he said that he was running through the barn because these are like houses from like the 1700s. And he said that there was a black guy that was in the barn and told him to stop running because he was going to get hurt. He was going to fall and hurt himself. And when he ran in and told his grandmother, she was like, there's nobody out there. And then they went, of course, he was gone. But there was another house that they lived in, same family, that was actually haunted. And they had to call in like a psychic to try to get the spirits out of it, which is pretty fucked, dude. Like the closet was haunted and a bunch of other places. And like I said, if this was like some guy saying this, I'd have been like, yeah, right. But since it was him, I totally believe him because he's not a liar,
No, definitely. I went to Edinburgh about a year and a half ago now.
or coming up for 2 years, I think. I can't remember when. But I went to this haunted place in the cemetery, and there's a poltergeist that lives there, and I
Those
never
are the
seen.
worst. The
Yeah, I never.
poltergeists are the worst.
Yep, I never seen nothing. I never felt nothing. I took a couple of pictures and went back home. Went back to the hotel. I got woken up by the night manager of the hotel because I was screaming out. I was having a nightmare and I was actually screaming out. And the nightmare was I was getting chased by two ghosts.
Huh?
I think their energy must have latched onto me and I got it in the night time. And don't have nightmares like that. So I believe that I had an energy latch onto me and got me back to the hotel, and I just ended up. And I was actually literally screaming, "Help me! Help me!" So the night manager says. So the belief in spirits, I do believe in spirits. Is definitely.
Well, there's something there. I mean, you can't. I mean, well, I think so. But I just think that. See, they're saying that we're coming to the time where we're living in the end times. All the fucking prophecies and everything else is going to be fulfilled and everything else. And I'm not sure about that. But what I am sure about is that we're moving to more of a surveillance state than ever. And it's going to be like what people don't really understand, like how a digital currency and everything else is going to make that happen. Well, it's going to be like you're not going to be able to do anything without them knowing about it at this point, because every transaction you're going to make, anywhere you spend anything, fucking if they decide, well, whoever decides, they don't want you to have certain things, they'll make it so you don't, like, you're restricted from purchasing that. You see what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
I know what you mean.
And with that, like they say, well, in order to buy, sell, or trade, you're going to need to have the beast's mark, right?
Yeah.
And the beast is going to demand total and utter fucking loyalty. Like, you have to be loyal to the beast in order to get this mark. And if you aren't, then you'll be completely cut off from that. You'll be thrown out. You'll be outcast. You'll starve. You'll die. Fucking all your fortunes will go out. But that would be like a whole surveillance, and that's like they're gonna monitor like even how you think, which people are gonna wonder like, well, how can you know what I'm thinking? But things like this Neuralink and all that. I'm not trying to be a conspiracy theorist or nothing like that.
No.
But they said that you're either gonna have to wear this mark either on your hand or on your head. And lately they've been doing this, like you see in the paper all the time. They're having breakthroughs now of how like people that were paralyzed, now they can walk.
Yeah.
Blind people can see because of these microchips that they're having implanted in their brain, which monitor everything.
New hearing aids. Yeah, I know what you think, but
well, they've been saying, like, I know they've been saying this for years. Like every 1,000 years, they say, "All right, this is it. This is the end." And people go crazy, and then it becomes it's not. But now we're getting closer and closer to it, to where it's getting scary, because if you're getting this thing implanted in your head, which a lot of people will do anyway, just out of convenience, it's like you can like uplink right to the fucking. You can uplink right to the internet with this chip if you get this Neuralink chip. Like they're making it like that. Like you'll be like a walking, you'll be like a walking, talking link to a computer. Like you'll be able to interface with pretty much everything. Your bank account.
That does sound a bit Terminator-ish.
It does sound like a little far-fetched, but it's actually happening. Like the technology's here now.
Oh,
like,
yeah, I believe the technology is there. It just sounds like Terminator-ish. Well, AI tried to take over the world.
Well, they say it will be in our lifetime. So whether it's now, whether it's 10 years from now, they say that 2,000 years, like, so the end times will come 2,000 years plus Christ's lifetime, which would bring us to the year 2027.
Wow, Jesus. Yeah.
So if you think about it, now does that mean that that's automatically going to happen? No, it doesn't mean nothing like that. But it does fucking raise some eyebrows. Like, well, what is going to happen coming up? Because let's face it, dude, everybody across the world, unless you're like in that top 1% bracket, people are struggling out here.
Yeah.
Nobody's just like, if you're like making anything under $400,000, I don't care what anybody says, but if you're making under that, dude, you are fucking struggling.
Well,
Food killing you. Your fucking your rent, your mortgage, everything's going up. Your taxes, people are being taxed to death, dude. Fucking just to get a car, dude. Everything is shot up drastically.
I'm on benefits at the moment because of my situation. And
But
my
your situation is not unique, It's like
yeah,
everybody is suffering right now,
yeah. No, no, I'm talking about my health
Oh yeah,
situation.
health, yeah,
Yeah, my
yeah,
health situation. That's the reason why I'm on benefits.
right.
Um, but when I first moved into where I live, my shopping was for a fortnight because we get paid fortnightly, was £45 to £50. Now it's gone up to £110.
Oh Jesus Christ, man, yeah, yeah. Well, that's what your insurance.
No, that's my food.
Oh, your food. Oh, Jesus Christ, Paul. I can tell you about food, man.
That's my
Would you
food, mate.
would you believe, right? 5 years ago, right? And I know everybody's gonna say 5 years ago. Yeah,
Yeah,
I know
yeah,
everything was,
yeah.
but 5 years ago, I could have put groceries in the whole house for all of us for a whole week with $100, maybe $120. Now it's I spent $230 just on Thursday alone, and I still got to go back and get more food. Like you're
Yeah.
talking like fucking dude for two fucking T-bone steaks, not even porterhouse steaks, for two T-bone steaks. It's
Yeah.
on $45 for two of them.
Okay, so I'm going to say something. I used to buy a shoulder of pork, a boneless
Yeah,
shoulder of pork. It'd be a good size. That would be between £5 or £6. Now it is 10. It is 11 or £12 now
yeah, I know.
for the same size. Chickens you could buy a chicken. You used to buy a chicken there, a whole chicken for £2.99. Now it's £5, £6.
Well, chicken used to be one of the cheapest things you could get. You could feed the
Yeah,
whole family. Now it's like I think I just paid $12 for 2 packs of chicken tenders. Not even chicken breasts, some chicken tenders.
Jesus.
Yeah, 12 fucking dollars. 4 pounds of hamburger went from like $15 and it's like
Well,
$22 now.
we used to buy block spreadable butter for like £3, £3.50 for a good size. Now that's gone up to £7.50.
And let me tell you something, dude, with this fucking Kamala Harris shit, dude. People are fucked if she gets back in. She's gonna really finish the job, put the final nail in the coffin.
I'm going to speak truthfully about politics, and this is the truth about politics. It is you vote for the which lie you believe the most. Any person, any person, don't care who it is. And you always vote for the lie that you believe the most there. Because all they're going to do is screw you over, no matter who's in. It could be Trump, it could be Kamala Harris, it could be Labour, Conservative over here, it could be the Green. You're going to get screwed over anyway.
Well, here's the truth about I obviously am gonna vote for Trump because I always have.
No, fair
It's
enough.
just but it's ridiculous to think that Trump's gonna get in office and he's gonna fix all the problems. That's not gonna happen.
Yes,
Another thing that I don't like when it's being said that if Trump was in office, we wouldn't have this inflation and everything. That is not true. Of course, we would have this inflation.
it started when he was in office. Is when also he goes, if Trump was still in office, we wouldn't have withdrawn from Afghanistan. He signed the agreement to draw from Afghanistan. He knew what would happen. He stopped being deluded about things. He can't keep on blaming people for other people's mistakes.
The thing that we need Trump for, though, is because like we're already starting to see like the interest rates are being brought back down. That's going to send commodities through the roof. Like, well, at first, what happens is, once they start lowering the rates, the commodities are going to take a dip. All right. So, like, the price will go down for a little bit. That'll probably be your last chance to get any. Right. And then they're going to start going up. And by that time, once they start going back up again, they're not going to come back down. So, anything physical is going to go up exponentially. Right.
Yeah.
But if you take fucking Harris, right? Her campaign speaks about nothing about what they're going to do. In fact, she's trying to tell you that they did such a good job during Biden's presidency that fucking the economy's going great and everything's going great, which is a lie. Things are not going great. The economy is not good. If the economy was so good, she's talking about price gouging and putting price protections in place. If the economy was so good, you wouldn't need price protections on fucking goods.
Exactly.
If the economy was going good, you'd be able to have the competition, everything that you would normally have. They're talking about eliminating all the competition just so they can have one set price on everything. And that's going to drive the price up through the roof. If you only have like a few suppliers or something and you have an increase in demand, well, then they can make the price whatever the fuck they want. And if there's no competition and there's no alternative to go to try to find a cheaper price, they're talking about putting price controls on shit in the greatest economy the world's ever seen. That's their words. That is total fucking bullshit.
Yeah, that is.
If the economy was that good, you wouldn't need any interference from the government. And they're talking about all these jobs that they created. They're all government jobs. So they really don't fucking count. If you think about it, who pays for government jobs? We do. We pay for the government jobs.
Yeah.
Now, if you were adding 1 million private sector jobs, then you would have something to look for, and you'd be like, holy shit. But if you're adding government jobs, that's the one problem anyway. The government's way too fucking big. The government is the biggest employer in the country. That's never how this country was designed to be. It was never designed to have a big government. The whole thing was have a small government. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
With less regulation, less oversight. Now they're doing the exact opposite. Just fucking crazy, man.
Well, it's a time to change. I mean, if you look at American politics now, no disrespect to people who voted for Trump, Trump is almost like a cultish figure now.
Well, that's what they say, but I mean, dude, if you think about it, that's how the Democrats are. The Democrats are
you have that too. There's a cultish in between them. There's a cultish thing, and the people who vote for Democrats and the people who vote for Trump, are fine people. But then you get the hardliners who treat it as like the cult of Trump or the cult of Harris, and it's beyond ridiculous.
Well, you got to look at what just happened here, which I think like isn't getting enough coverage or people like really aren't caring. They took a woman, right, who got 0 delegates, right, who got 0 anything, and they installed her as the Democratic nominee. Nobody voted for this woman. Which is fucking insanity, dude. Now if the Republicans would have did that, you wouldn't have heard the fucking outrage wouldn't have stopped. But because it's this, so now they're taking this woman that nobody voted for. So all the people that voted for Biden and everything, right? And I'm not saying Biden was a good president. I hate Biden. I think he was the worst president. But they take all the people who voted for Biden, right? Because Biden and Kamala Harris went at it back in 2020. Or whenever, dude. Like they went at it. They were enemies. Like she was trying to be the nominee. He blew her out of the water. He won, dude. They didn't want her. So what do, dude? They take her and they just put her in that spot. Not one person. They didn't have a revote. They didn't like go to the people and say, all right, who do you want to be in? They just took her and they put her in there. Now you have these idiots, which I hate to say it, are mostly fucking white. You have these white assholes, like these white dudes, talking about, dude, we're white dudes for Kamala Harris. Dude, she hasn't said anything on how she's going to fix any. Every time she gets to answer that question, because I've been following this, all she does is, dude, she talks about, well, we need to unlock the greatness of this country. And it's like, what the fuck does that mean? So you haven't laid out any plan. You haven't said anything really tangible. That's what they mean by that word salad shit. She'll just talk and talk. She'll use big words, but she doesn't say anything. She doesn't say how she, and people are catching on, which I'm really happy to see that. See, what's happening is people are hating Trump so much, right, that they're just going for whoever they put in front of them just because it's not Trump. That's very dangerous. That's dangerous what's happening here.
I've always said, mate, that it's the people who have the least to talk about talk the most. And it sounds very much like Harris. You know?
Well, I mean, Harris is just talking about how great everything's going to be.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. Yeah, that's what I mean. She hasn't got. If what you're saying is true, and I'm not going to disagree with you or say no, it's not true, or yes, it's right. But what you're saying is true. She hasn't got any policies to face. So what is she going to do? She's just going to filibuster everything.
Dude, did you see that thing with Andrew Cuomo or Chris Cuomo? Now, I'm not a fan of Chris Cuomo, although I do like him now that he's not at CNN and all that, dude. You guys should listen to this channel. It's called The Hill, right? And he was at the DNC convention. And this guy, dude, I'm not a fan of Chris Cuomo, dude. I used to make fun of him and all that shit. But this guy, for once, spoke complete truth. He's at the fucking DNC, right? And he's talking about they had just given a speech how they're going to make all these billionaires and millionaires pay all this money, which is total bullshit to begin with, right? But he shows the top of the stadium they're in, and he's showing these boxes that they cost like $500,000 a night, like in order to get these.
Yeah, we have them over here too.
Yep, you need to pay like $1 million for some of them, right? Which is total fuck. If you got that kind of money, dude, it's total. And he's sitting there, he's saying, how the hell are they going to make these people pay their fair share when they're here tonight at this convention and they're buying these boxes and they're looking down on everybody? And this lady sitting there, it's a lie because they're not going to do. The only way they're going to increase any revenue is they're going to tax me, they're going to tax you, they're going to tax every fucking middle class person in this country until they can't afford nothing no more. They're going to take people's homes. And this isn't just because, I'm trying to fearmonger or anything else, but this is how they're going to pay for this massive spending. She's not even in office yet. She's talking about spending another $1 trillion.
Has America got another $1 trillion?
No, America's fucking 35 trillion in debt.
Fucking hell.
This is the fucking craziest shit you talk about. This would be like me. This would be like me or you making $100,000 and we're spending $200,000.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, that would never happen. In what world?
No.
You know what I'm saying?
Very true. Very true, mate.
Well, that's why they're looking to, like, people will be like, well, it doesn't make sense. Why are they doing this? Why are they doing this? It only makes one sense. They're looking for a fucking reset. And this is how they said they're going to get this shit to go. This Neuralink, this thing that, this digital shit, they're going to incentivize it. Because the way it's explained to me, this digital shit isn't worth nothing, right? It's got nothing back in it. People are like, oh, it's worth the electricity, blah, blah, blah. No, it's not. It's not worth anything. The only difference between $1 and $1 million is fucking 6 keystrokes. That's all the fucking difference is. So they're gonna tell you what the value is. So at that point, they're gonna empty out people's, and this is just a theory, but this is what makes sense. They empty out 401ks, they empty out IRAs, they empty out whatever savings, they transfer it all to digital. Now they're gonna tell you what it's worth. And for people like us that were like, dude, we're never doing that. All they have to do is tell us they're gonna double our credits, which doesn't cost them a fucking thing. It doesn't cost anybody nothing for them to do that because it's not worth anything. You see what I'm saying? So they're going to incentivize everybody to get into this system. Like, this is a fucking crazy direction that we're going in. That's why you have countries like, and which I'm sure you know this, Paul, like you have, Belarus, Russia, India, China. they're all doing that BRICS system where they're backing their currencies with gold and everything else.
I'm not too sure about currency. I'm not big in financial matters.
But you have heard of the BRICS, right?
Do you know what? I'm going to shock you. No, I really haven't.
Okay, well, this came out a few years back where when the United States and the West were talking about taking their currencies digital, they were going to the other side talking about backing their currencies with gold. Because some of these countries still have gold and silver reserves.
Oh, yeah, they do. They have plenty of gold and silver reserves.
The United States says they do, but I mean, who the fuck knows? They probably don't.
Is your gold reserves in, where is it, Fort Knox?
That's what it used to be. Like the money used to be based on how much gold we had in Fort Knox, but in the 70s, Nixon took us off this. Well, he did two things in the 70s. He took us off the gold standard, and he instituted the 401k, which is a fucking scam. It's a Ponzi scheme.
Oh, is that the one Mike Cerrone says he's got over 400,000 in it or something like that?
He's full of shit, dude. I heard 500,000, but either way, he's full of shit, dude. He ain't got no $500,000, dude. He's a fucking liar. He's a fucking liar. But no, dude, like, so that's really why this big war's going on. See, they bankrupt the system. They get the people as desperate as possible with soaring fucking prices and shit. So in essence, they're getting people to demand, this price gouging shit because they think it's a good thing. They think, oh man, prices are going to keep getting out of control. Well, here comes Harris. She's going to save the day and make sure there's just one set price. So that's all. No, it's not a good thing. It takes the free market right out of it, which basically fucking puts us into a socialistic fucking economy.
Like it comes to what I said before who says the biggest and best lie is the one that you believe most is the person you're going to vote for.
Well, socialism is one of the oldest fucking forms of government there is, if you think about it, man. It's like the government used to control everything, even back in the medieval times. You had your kings and your lords, and then you had your peasants and your serfs and your shit like that, right?
But it was sort of different then. It was if you're talking about before the Magna Carta, then you had the signing of the Magna Carta, and that's when the Parliament.
That was King John, right?
Yeah, that was King John. Yeah.
They say he was like one of the worst kings in history.
Oh yeah, that's why they had to do the Magna Carta, because you had the Barons' Revolt.
Yeah, they were going to kill him.
Yeah. Yeah, but even countries like Scotland got involved. And that's to get the Magna Carta, is to give a person, they wanted a representation in a building and take away the power of an absolute monarchy.
Yep, that's right. And now they're trying to give the power back to the government like that. You see that? And you get the people, fucking a lot of people, not everybody, because a lot of people see it for what it is, but a lot of people are cheering that on like it's a good fucking thing.
It wasn't the point of the US being developed as a country not to have an absolute person in charge?
Well, it was never supposed to be like that. We're supposed to have elected representation, but everyone knows who it is. Fucking, they don't listen to us. They're in there serving special interests in their own fucking pockets. It's the only place that you could think of. You go into get a $50,000 a year job and you leave a millionaire, which is fucking insane, dude. And they always said that's the definition of a crooked politician. Show me a rich politician and I'll show you a crook.
Well, over here, that cannot happen over here, because what a lot of Americans forget. I'm not saying you, but a lot of Americans forget we're a constitutional monarchy. We don't have a bona fide written constitution in this country. We have laws and legislations. That's our constitution. But also, is the party that wins. People go, we have had several unelected prime ministers. Technically, they're correct, but they're also wrong, because we don't vote for the prime minister. We vote for the party. So if me and you decided to do a party in Britain, and we called ourselves the raving loony leftists for some strange reason, and we won, it'd be us to appoint a prime minister. And it's usually the leader of that party.
Right.
but also it's not proportional representation. It's first past the post system here.
So who votes for the prime minister? Just like the delegates?
Yeah, the people if you become a member of the Conservative Party, and it's the Conservatives who win.
So the members of the parliament do
The members of the party, the party vote him in. They vote for the leader. So that's how Boris Johnson came in. He got voted in to be leader of the Conservative Party.
So the people don't vote for the prime minister there.
Sort of and sort of not. So the party appoint a chairman of the leader of the party. So the party's people would say, okay, we feel we're best chance with you, Lord Doc. So they pick you.
You're goddamn right, because you are.
But they pick you as the leader of the party. But it's the party with the biggest majority who wins parliament.
Well, I'll tell you what, man. Fucking if Harris gets in, then the people aren't picking who's running this shit either, dude. Because there is no way in fucking hell. Like, even these polls that they're putting out, where she's like leading Trump, I have no idea how. I really don't, because everyone I see, even online, even people that are Democrats, are voting for Trump. So if she gets in, dude, like, I mean, don't get me wrong, there's a handful of fucking idiots that are really buying into this, you know, and the only reason why they're voting for her is because they just hate Trump. And there's a lot of people, dude, don't ever underestimate the power of the hate, because they hate this guy to the point they would put a rock in the White House before they'd vote for Trump. There's a lot of people that just hate the guy, which I can't understand it, dude. I don't know why they're so against them and shit.
Politics is very divisive. There's two rules you should never talk about. When you're in a pub in Britain, two rules you shouldn't do is never talk about politics and never talk about religion.
That's the same thing here. Religion and politics, especially with family, especially with company, friends. You don't want to talk that shit because you guys end up coming to blows after a while.
Exactly. But Lord Doc, I'm going to close this down. Thanks for chatting. It's really helped. It really has.
Yeah, man. No, it was good talking to you, man. Now that I know you be doing these lives, I'll be stopping by. What about Michelle Obama? You mean Michael? You mean Michael?
He's changed his name. All right. Thanks for being here, mate.
I might do a live this afternoon. If you're around, Paul, you're more than welcome to pop up.
Yeah, I will do, mate. I will do. But thank you very much.
I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks for having me, man.
You're very welcome, mate. Everybody who was on this chat and panel, thank you so much. It really helped. Thanks to Lord Doc for coming on here. Thank you to everybody in the chat, Mr. B, Flaky, Hoss, Mikey, and to everybody else. Sorry if I haven't mentioned names. It's not intentional. I'm just terrible at names. But again, thank you so much for being here, and thank you very much for listening. It has helped. Things like this do. But you will take care now. I wish you all the best and have a good Sunday or whatever time it is over there. You'll take care now. Goodbye. Okay. That's it.